Are you looking for some good food after a Fenwick football game? Then head on over to O'Sullivan's Public House. Located on Madison Street in Forest Park, O'Sullivan's Public House has daily drink specials alongside a year-round beer garden. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. O'Sullivan's PH offers dinner until 10 p.m. Even cooler, O'Sullivan's offers a late-night menu until 11:30 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. On the weeknights, O'Sullivan's has a late-night menu until 11 p.m. And for the fall season, O'Sullivan's will offer 20% off food for athletes and coaches following home Fenwick games. For more information, go online to o'sullivansfp.com.
Sure, my family.
Are you looking for some good food after a Fenwick football game? Then head on over to O'Sullivan's Public House. Located on Madison Street in Forest Park, O'Sullivan's Public House has daily drink specials alongside a year-round beer garden. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. O'Sullivan's PH offers dinner until 10 p.m. Even cooler, O'Sullivan's offers a late-night menu until 11:30 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. On the weeknights, O'Sullivan's has a late-night menu until 11 p.m. And for the fall season, O'Sullivan's will offer 20% off food for athletes and coaches following home Fenwick games. For more information, go online to o'sullivansfp.com.
Ever since I was a little kid, I've been interested in the ideas of justice.
Are you looking for some good food after a Fenwick football game? Then head on over to O'Sullivan's Public House. Located on Madison Street in Forest Park, O'Sullivan's Public House has daily drink specials alongside a year-round beer garden. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. O'Sullivan's PH offers dinner until 10 p.m. Even cooler, O'Sullivan's offers a late-night menu until 11:30 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. On the weeknights, O'Sullivan's has a late-night menu until 11 p.m. And for the fall season, O'Sullivan's will offer 20% off food for athletes and coaches following home Fenwick games. For more information, go online to o'sullivansfp.com. Are you looking for some good food after a Fenwick football game? Then head on over to O'Sullivan's Public House. Located on Madison Street in Forest Park, O'Sullivan's Public House has daily drink specials alongside a year-round beer garden. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. O'Sullivan's PH offers dinner until 10 p.m. Even cooler, O'Sullivan's offers a late-night menu until 11:30 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. On the weeknights, O'Sullivan's has a late-night menu until 11 p.m. And for the fall season, O'Sullivan's will offer 20% off food for athletes and coaches following home Fenwick games. For more information, go online to o'sullivansfp.com.
Chicago is near and dear to my heart. Chicago is a part of the very fabric of who I am as a person. Part of my commitment to my clients is my commitment to the regular, everyday working people that make Chicago. These are the people I'm committed to helping. This is what excites me. This is what motivates me. This is what makes me proud to be a Chicagoan.
Feeling bullied by your bank?
You know there's a fee. That loan application looks complicated.
Any help?
Not really a math guy. I hope you enjoyed our new hold music. Last question, what high school did you go to?
Lincoln South?
Dude, we totally crushed you guys.
At Wintrust, we take a different approach. Whether it's banking solutions, a new home, or financial planning, our local experts are ready to help. Wintrust, different approach, better results.
What are you?
I threw away my retainer again? My parents are gonna be so mad at me. Are you looking to replace your lost or broken retainer? Perhaps bank a free retainer for the future. Would you like to be part of something that guarantees you a new retainer and gives back to the community at the same time? If yes, then we have the perfect solution for you. Willow Lake Orthodontics is proud to offer their unique Retainers Make a Difference program. We offer our patients and families an opportunity to replace their retainers simply by putting in a little hard work and lending a helping hand at the local food pantry, the local farm, or a Glenview retirement community. Every patient that completes their volunteer hours earns a voucher for a free retainer. So instead of worrying about spending your savings for a new retainer, take advantage of this opportunity and call us now to get started. As both residents and business owners in Glenview, Willow Lake Orthodontics is excited that Remade is a win for our families and the community we live in.
You are a seasoned loan originator. You've been around the block and have the portfolio to prove it. You should
has a late-night menu until 11 p.m. And for the fall season, O'Sullivan's will offer 20% off food for athletes and coaches following home Fenwick games. For more information, go online to o'sullivansfp.com.
Ever since I was a little kid, I've been interested in the ideas of justice and fairness and equality. That's why I became a lawyer. I have the opportunity to advance these ideals. Now more than ever in our world, it is important that we highlight these issues. It's important that we fight for these issues. And my clients know that Keating Law Offices will not just fight for them, but they will fight for these ideals.
Sure, my
You are a seasoned loan originator. You've been around the block and have the portfolio to prove it. You should work here. You expect to be compensated fairly. You've earned the freedom to do what you're good at and the support that makes it possible. You should work here. You're a builder of relationships, a cultivator of trust, a deliverer of dreams. You should work here. You are a team player, a culture enhancer, and on most days, a smile provider. You should work here.
We are Wintrust Mortgage
one of Chicago's top workplaces
for the past 7 years in a row.
And in case we haven't made it clear,
We want you to work here.
Are you looking for some good food after a Fenwick football game? Then head on over to O'Sullivan's Public House. Located on Madison Street in Forest Park, O'Sullivan's Public House has daily drink specials alongside a year-round beer garden. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. O'Sullivan's PH offers dinner until 10 p.m. Even cooler, O'Sullivan's offers a late-night menu until 11:30 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. On the weeknights, O'Sullivan's has a late-night menu until 11 p.m. And for the fall season, O'Sullivan's will offer 20% off food for athletes and coaches following home Fenwick games. For more information, go online to o'sullivansfp.com.
There are only two kinds of people in this world. Those who get committed and those who don't.
Before you find yourself in a housing standoff, get committed. Visit our website to learn more.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Kyle Smith alongside Sam Corbett as the Fenwick Friars are about to host the Carmel Catholic Corsairs. It's 7 o'clock p.m. right on the dot, which means it's about some time for some high school football. And Sam, this is the last game of the season. Fenwick is definitely in at 6-2. Carmel Catholic can still get in, but not only do they have to win tonight, a couple teams have to lose, and they'd have to win with style points as well.
Yeah, if the Corsairs win, they'd climb to 4-5 on the year. There's 6 spots open in the 5A bracket for this postseason. The bids will go live within the next couple of days. And the Corsairs, with 46 playoff points, lead current group of 4-win teams. So, you said it, Kyle. They're going to have to do business tonight and get a little bit of help, but certainly in a good position if the Corsairs can come away victorious tonight from Triton College.
Yeah, absolutely. And for the Fenwick Friars, it's a team that we've seen some ups and downs with this team. We saw them dominate Bennett 42-7 on the road. we saw last week. It's a good Mount Carmel team. It's different from last year's Mount Carmel team that had Darian Dupree, who went to Wisconsin as a 5-star recruit. But they got dominated here at home. A little bit worrisome. I know it's Mount Carmel, but it's not the same Mount Carmel team that won state last year. Very good team. They did play that game against Huns Academy in New Jersey, and they almost won that game all the way in New Jersey. That's a team that has 19-year-olds, fifth-year seniors that play for Huns Academy in New Jersey, and then they lost, but that was without Jack Elliott at quarterback. So they lost to a Mount Carmel team that was 5-2 coming in. They got dominated. It was a team they only had 5 net rushing yards. Fenwick did last week. What's that going to materialize into today? What kind of frustrations and anger is Fenwick going to show on the field after showing a not-so-good offensive effort last week?
Well, it was their second loss of the year, but going back to that first loss at JCA, they were a 2-point conversion away from coming away victorious with that. Last week was really the first time all season that the Friars weren't the better team on the gridiron. Mount Carmel, granted, they looked revitalized with Elliott returning from the shoulder injury that he sustained a couple of weeks ago. He definitely looked to be more confident. Again, the 5 rushing yards. We spent all last week talking about this Mount Carmel offense. The Mount Carmel defense did a really good job of stymieing this Friar offensive attack. You talked about the 5 total rushing yards. They had 104 passing yards on the day. Williams, the quarterback, 9 for 21, 72 yards, only 1 touchdown. Really, they were able to stop Morgan, the running back, and Fenwick was trying to find some questions for a secondary option behind him. And well, that's one of the best teams in the state to figure out some questions about. But thankfully, this Carmel team should be viewed as a tune-up game for the Friars. Talked about how they've already clinched a spot in the playoffs.
Yeah, for Fenwick, it's a Fenwick team that's looking to go 7-2. If they win, they would have an automatic home game. They lose, chance for a home game, but they might not have one. For Carmel Catholic, you have Trey Taylor. He's already getting NIL deals. 23 schools already interested in him, including TCU and LSU. But you have to have more than a quarterback, and we've seen that for the Corsairs this season. They were 3-2 until they weren't. Now they're 3-5 on that 3-game losing streak. During that losing streak, Sam, they've given up 3 passing touchdowns to 2 different quarterbacks, including the young quarterbacks in Israel Abrams and Don Maloney for Loyola Academy. So it's a Carmel Catholic team that is struggling defensively in their 3-game losing streak.
Well, last week in that Loyola game, Loyola had a 17-0 run halfway through the third. It was a 10-point ball game at halftime, but the Ramblers started to run away with it at the end. But I take a look at how well Loyola was able to hold on to the ball because Carmel didn't really have any opportunities. They had 3 first-half drives. The first one was a 9-yard 3-and-out. The third one started with 29 seconds to go before the halftime. And the one drive that they were able to hang on to the ball, we saw how magical Taylor is when he's under shotgun. 9-minute, 75-yard touchdown drive. They just didn't have the ball for that long, and Loyola was able to capitalize when the Ramblers had it.
Let's give you the stats. Those are brought to you by MaxPreps.com. For the Carmel Catholic Corsairs, they're led by a couple of running backs, including Day and Pierre. Day with 6 yards per carry. Pierre's having an excellent year, granted small sample size, 40 carries. How about this, partner? We talked about why Trey Taylor is a 5-star quarterback recruit, the best quarterback recruit since J.J. McCarthy was at Nazareth Academy. As a rusher, 23 carries, 8.7 yards per carry. That's a dynamic quarterback outside the pocket.
Well, that's all genetics. His dad's an Eastern Illinois Hall of Famer, former running back for the Panthers. Taylor last week looked really strong, 22 of 30 for about 230 yards. Did have an interception to round out the first half, but found the end zone once. He completed his first 10 attempts, so it's very obvious that when he gets rolling, he's hard to stop.
We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to the Fenwick Friars against the Carmel Catholic Corsairs here on SBS.
Are you looking for some good food after a Fenwick football game? Then head on over to O'Sullivan's Public House. Located on Madison Street in Forest Park, O'Sullivan's Public House has daily drink specials alongside a year-round beer garden. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. O'Sullivan's PH offers dinner until 10 p.m. Even cooler, O'Sullivan's offers a late-night menu until 11:30 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. On the weeknights, O'Sullivan's has a late-night menu until 11 p.m. And for the fall season, O'Sullivan's will offer 20% off food for athletes and coaches following home Fenwick games. For more information, go online to o'sullivansfp.com.
You are a seasoned loan originator. You've been around the block and have the portfolio to prove it. You should work here. You expect to be compensated fairly. You've earned the freedom to do what you're good at and the support that makes it possible. You should work here. You're a builder of relationships, a cultivator of trust, a deliverer of dreams. You should work here. You are a team player, a culture enhancer, and on most days, a smile provider. You should work here.
We are Wintrust Mortgage
One of Chicago's top workplaces.
for the past 7 years in a row.
And in case we haven't made it clear,
We want you to work here.
Hello, folks. Andy Diedrich here with Sports Broadcast Solutions. We're here at Triton College Stadium for an Illinois high school marquee matchup. Hello, folks. Andy Diedrich here with Sports Broadcast Solutions. We're here at Triton College Stadium for an Illinois high school marquee matchup between the I messed up. Can we do that again? Not Mount Carmel. It's Carmel Catholic. It gets me sometimes, you know?
Yeah, I get you.
All right. I'm ready when you
Yeah, I get you.
All right, I'm ready when you are, Chris. Broadcast Solutions. We're here at Triton College Stadium. We're getting ready for an Illinois high school marquee matchup between the Carmel Catholic and the Fenwick Friars. Standing next to me is one of Fenwick's very own running back, Jalen Morgan. Jalen, you guys are coming off of a tough loss last week against Mount Carmel. You had some pretty good, solid gains on the ground. What is the key to trying to overcome that? What's the feeling in the locker room with trying to overcome that mentally and be ready to play this week?
Honestly, this week has been a great week of practice, just coming off of that loss. We all know we got to do, come out and take care of business. And we really just been locked in all week, so I'm ready to get this win.
Yeah, we talk about what you're able to do on the ground game. You've definitely rushed for over 100 yards in numerous games. The team is really built around what you're able to do with your feet. What's the plan offensively to get that going today to establish a great offensive attack?
Honestly, when you establish the run, it just opens up the pass game. Pass game opens up the run game. Our goal is to just honestly establish the run game first, and then we can get started all over the field.
We talk about offense, but the true identity of this Fenwick team is its defense. You guys really, before that Mount Carmel game, were only letting up around 10 points a game. What is the big thing on why you guys are so successful at stopping teams from gaining yards and getting into the end zone?
Honestly, our defense is putting in a lot of work during the offseason. They've just been locked in, constantly always watching a lot of film. I think that's goes to a lot of their credit.
Final thoughts before today's game. It's senior night. The stands are packed. You ready to go out there and win?
Of course. Time to get a win.
Jalen, thank you so much for your time. Best of luck out there. Thank you for watching our pregame interview. Stay tuned. We got Illinois high school football coming up right after this.
Next up, number 3, Patrick Gilmore, accompanied by Rachel and Brandon. Next up, number 4, Evan Bronius, accompanied by Eleanor and Mark Henry. Next up, number 5, Jack Harris, accompanied by Carrie and Marty. Next up, number 6, Andrew Bjorson, accompanied by Sherry and Christian. Next up, number 7, Jack Hardy, accompanied by Kathleen and John. Next up, number 9, Nate Marshall, accompanied by Kyle and Nathan. Next up, number 10, Colin Murray, accompanied by Angela and Michael. Next up, number 11, Brian Timpone, accompanied by Patty and Ryan. Next up, number 18, Tim Mulcahy, accompanied by Kaylee and Timothy. Next up, number 21, Henry Fluke, accompanied by Allison and Josh. Next up, number 22, Charlie Hendricks, accompanied by Michelle and Timothy. Next up, number 23, Jimmy O'Brien, accompanied by Kelly and James. Next up, number 25, Ben Jarnicki, accompanied by Nancy and Dennis. Next up, number 27, Dominic Esposito, accompanied by Lisa and James. Next up, number 28, Jalen Morgan, accompanied by Kenny and James. up, number 32, Eden Burns, accompanied by Melissa and Mike. Next up, number 33, Dominic Rooney, accompanied by Elizabeth. Next up, number 50, Jackson Cloud, accompanied by Alicia and Jason. Next up, number 55, Gianni Bertacci, accompanied by Oliver. Next up, number 57, TJ Woods, accompanied by Michelle and Timothy. Next up, number 59, Miles Moriarty, accompanied by Sarah and Miles. Next up, number 85, Deontay Meeks, accompanied by Ryan Danielle. Next up, number 99, Dominic Ferrante, accompanied by Quincy Villa. And last but certainly not least, number 1, Frankie Hosty. His father, Ed, from the class of 1992, looks over us all tonight after the passing away early this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our 2024 seniors!
Back to the pregame show brought to you by O'Sullivan's Public House. I'm Kyle Smith alongside Sam Corbett as the Fenwick Friars on senior night. Sam trying to get a victory for their home fans, their parents, peers, whoever came out, grandparents for senior day. Get a win, you get a home game. You lose, you're hoping other teams lose, so you get a home game for the first round.
Well, and they're also trying to right some wrongs. We talked in the pregame show a little bit, but only 5 net rushing yards last week to go along with just over 100 yards through the air. It just wasn't characteristic of them and what we've seen of the Friars so far this season. Entering last week in the 35-10 loss to Mount Carmel, yeah, they were 6-1. That 1-point loss in week 3 against JCA, but again, they were a 2-point conversion away from walking away with that one with another win. They didn't look like themselves. I think that's the best way to say it. And granted, Mount Carmel is probably one of the toughest tasks that any team can draw in the IHSA, especially when Elliott, their quarterback, is now healthy once again, coming off of that shoulder injury. But this will be a good tough test for the Friars to hopefully, get their feet underneath them once again as they re-enter the playoffs after a disappointing 2023 campaign, which saw them miss them.
Yeah, they were 4-1 last year. They lost 4 in a row to miss the postseason. It's a Matt Battaglia team since he took over in 2019. Last year was the only year that they missed it, if you don't include that weird 2021 season where we had spring football. Should be a good one. I wouldn't be shocked if Carmel Catholic pulled off the upset, knowing that they have some kind of hope for the postseason. We saw last year Nazareth Academy was 4-5, but they somehow got in on tie breaks. They went all the way to the state championship game last year. So it is possible that Carmel Catholic gets in, but they got to win. And like I said, they got to do it with style points. But they got the quarterback to do so in Trey Taylor.
Yeah, and this is a Carmel team that's been progressing overall, with the relatively new head coach Jason McKee, a former Bears fullback from 03 to 09. But in his first year, he went 1-4. That was during that weird spring football campaign. Second year, he's got 3 wins. Year 3, 7. Year 4 last year had a 10-win ball club. This year it hasn't been the same 3-5, but again, with as much star power as you're getting with Trey Taylor, the quarterback, he is still only a sophomore. There are going to be those growing pains. He put up near video game-like numbers during freshman freshman class football last year, but any adjustment, no matter how gifted you are, the jump from freshman to varsity and then the jump that he'll eventually make from high school to college, and who knows where he can go beyond that. But there's always going to be it's very rare that somebody immediately clicks right away with a new, not a new program, but, new personnel and just the overall feelings. I mean, the kid can't drive yet, and he's the varsity quarterback trying to be the answer for this Carmel team.
He's making $6,000 signing autographs if you saw some of his NIL deals. I wish the kid good luck. You brought up a good point, Sam, is when you're a sophomore, when you're 15 and 16, you're going up against guys that are 17, 18, juniors and seniors. They're adults now. 15, 16, you're still a child.
And this is this is a Fenwick team that, they have legit grown men. We've talked week after week about Nate Marshall, 4-star Auburn commit. He is going to be a definite problem for Taylor. Taylor can run a little bit, mostly comfortable through the pocket, but all the eyes are going to be on the defensive end, Marshall. I'm going to be keeping my eye on number 32, Aiden Burns, who's been a wrecking crew on the other side of the ball, along with Marshall. All the attention's on him on the left side, and from the right side, number 32 just easily walks into the backfield a ton.
We talked about Jack Elliott, who played last week quarterback for Mount Carmel. Definitely going to Vanderbilt. Guess who one of the schools was looking at Jack Paris in the offseason?
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. Paris, former state qualified wrestler, just a pure athlete. Had a relatively quiet game last week against Mount Carmel, only a couple of tackles, but he's definitely going to get involved tonight.
He had 25 goals as an 8-year-old soccer player. So we're talking about an extremely good athlete. Not Nate Marshall-esque, but still an extremely good athlete. What are your predictions in this one, Sam? Because it's Fenwick's home field and because Carmel's struggling, I don't see Carmel pulling off the upset. I like Fenwick 35, Carmel 21 tonight.
I think this is going to be a close one. I like the 35-point mark for Fenwick. That's about what they've been scoring when they're coming away with victories. They've been averaging about 30-plus points a game, but I don't think that they can easily sleep on Carmel. I think you take a look at that 3-5 record and think, all right, let's just waltz through these guys and head into the playoffs. The Corsairs are going to give these guys some fits. The 21-point mark, 21-24, I think somewhere around that. They've kicked a good amount of field goals so far this year. But I do think the Friars, that's the perfect story, right, for senior night, trying to have a bounce-back season after missing the playoffs last year. I'm going to take the Friars here at home.
If they're going to win, Carmel has to use Day. He has over 100 carries coming to this, 107 carries for 6 yards a carry. Receiving the ball, they've used a lot of different targets this year, including Jackson with 41 receptions, 469 yards. I'd like to see them use Miles. He's just a freshman, but he has 5 receptions for 120 yards. I know that's a small sample size, Sam, but it's obvious that he can get yards after catch, and that's what you're going to have to do to beat Fenwick tonight.
Well, I'll tell you what, Kyle, my eyes are going to be on number 17, the big fellow, the tight end, Jack Grieber. 6'6", 220, if you can get him utilized in the passing game. Mostly going to be utilized in the running game because he is a behemoth of a blocking back. But you can get him involved, something over the middle, his yards after catch. It's going to be near impossible to bring him down.
Yeah, one of the lead backs for this Carmel Catholic team is Taylor with 23 carries, 201 yards. But we talked about Jarrell as well, Jarrell Black. He is a guy that when he talked to the Chicago Tribune and the Chicago Sun-Times, he likes to run the jugs drill, and he likes to do medium, short, and long depth. So that's a guy that likes to receive the ball out of the backfield. 27 receptions, 398 yards for Jarrell Black. So we'll see if Carmel Catholic wins. Coin toss coming up. Carmel Catholic would still be alive. They lose, obviously, they're out. Fenwick wins. They get an automatic home game next Friday or Saturday here at Triton College. Carmel Catholic will call it as the visiting team. Jaron Black, I apologize. We're going to show you the pregame notes in a minute here. It's a Carmel Catholic team, like we said, that 3-game losing streak. And, Sam, it's a Corsairs team. You talked about that offense. It struggled at times, including that Montini loss. They had 4th and goal just before the half, and they couldn't get it done. They ended up losing that game by 18 points to the Montini Broncos.
Week 1, though, they were able to put up 62 against Grays Lake Central, and then right before that Montini game against Marion Catholic, they were able to hang 42. So you get Taylor and the rest of this offense rolling, it's definitely a tough ass to stop, but yeah, mostly some mid-20s scoring affairs for the Corsairs entering tonight.
We're going to take a break. National anthem and public address announcements, as well as the awesome Go Through the Fenwick Friars sign here at beautiful Triton College Stadium. You're watching the Friars against the Corsairs here on SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
There are only two kinds of people in this world. Those who get committed and those who don't.
Before you find yourself in a housing standoff, get committed. Visit our website to learn more.
Tonight's contest features our Friars as they square off against the Corsairs of Carmel Catholic High School. The Corsairs are led by head coach Jason McKee. Our Friars are led by head coach Matthew Taylor. And the Chinese team is led by Tony Cormick and Margaret Flanagan. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask you please rise if you're able and join Father James Kavanaugh for tonight's invocation.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Good and gracious God, we stand before you on this senior night, grateful for all the many gifts you have given. Every moment is a gift, and we give you glory, that we can glorify you. Bless these athletes, keep them safe as they compete. Bless their families, and bless us all as we watch this game. May these teams compete to the best of their ability, and when this game is done, may we go forth empowered by you to live to our full flourishing. We ask you to bless us all in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Our Lady of Mount Carmel, pray for us. Saint Dominic, pray. Our Lady, Queen of Victory.
Please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem performed by the Fenwick Pit Band.
Almost time for the Friars to go through the banner at beautiful Triton College Stadium. Great shot by our camera operator and Chris Angela. Carmel Catholic in the white, yellow, and brown. Fenwick in the black and white. But there's nothing black and white about the Friars season this year. Up and down, they're 6-2. Got dominated last week. The other loss, they went for 2 instead of the old going for overtime against Joliet Catholic. That's where they stand right now, looking to go 7-2 against the Corsairs, led by former Chicago Bears fullback in Jason McKee.
McKee's son, Jordan, plays both sides of the ball, senior running back and safety. He had a 2-yard touchdown run last week against the Ramblers of Loyola Academy.
You know, partner, because the Corsairs are 3-5 and they got to get into the postseason got to win today to get into the postseason. We might see Lamberti, the 6'8" tackle, we might see him in the fullback position a couple of times tonight. The old refrigerator Perry play. We saw it last year at St. Ignatius. They put their 5-star defensive end recruit at fullback at a couple of plays. And, you know, for the guy that's played a lot of games, Lamberti, the senior defensive lineman, O-lineman, it won't be all the time, obviously, but you got to do whatever you can for the Corsairs to get in, and this could be Lamberti's last ever game as a Corsair.
Yeah, the 4-year start, he might as well bust out the plays at the very back of the playbook, trying to get everybody involved. But when McKee spoke with media early this week, he said that he's going to have to treat tonight like a playoff game, and that's been the emphasis all week, and rightfully so.
So let's see who won the toss. Regardless, it's going to be Fenwick and Noah Sir kicking off to the Corsairs. It's a Corsair team. They done decently on offense the first couple of weeks, and then after that, not so much, including this 3-game losing streak. In terms of all-purpose yards, Jackson has 469 this season. And Noah Sir, we've seen him kick some very important kicks in his career. See if he can get one into the end zone tonight. Ball starts on the 40. Sir and the Friars, and we get things going at Triton College. Not in the end zone, and actually it was. I did see his leg go in, but it was a late call by the back judge, Sam. I'm surprised it took him that long to make the call.
Yeah, Christian Lutz back deep to return, and it was that collection step. You saw him put his head upfield, seeing a pretty easy hole in between the far numbers and hash. Had a potential chance for a return, but had to take one more step back as that ball came down. And yeah, that right foot crossed the plane.
So here we go, the Corsairs led by their quarterback. He's already signing autographs and a couple of other cool NIL deals for Trey Taylor. One in the backfield, 3 wide receiver set, 1 in motion, then gets on the line. And that one's going nowhere fast. Tackle for a loss. Good job avoiding the face mask as Nate Marshall doing Nate Marshall things on that play.
Yeah, you talked about Donovan Day and what he's done so far this year. He's been a consistent producer for the Corsairs. Last year had just under 1,500 yards and 22 touchdowns. Rightfully so. First play of the game should go to him, but Friars knew it the whole way.
So here we go. 2nd and 12 for the Corsairs with 1 in the backfield. That time they run black in motion. High snap. Taylor on the quick pass as he gets it out to his playmaker and Wilder. And a couple of nice yards. 3rd and manageable coming up for the Corsairs early on in the first quarter.
Last week, Mount Carmel on 3rd down, 6 for 12.
So it should be 3rd and 4, and it is for the Corsairs. Ball on the 26. Fakes the handoff. Not the greatest pass in the world, Sam. It was a little bit high. He was trying to get it to Greiber. At the same time, it did go through his hands, so Greiber is not completely victimless.
Well, it was a little bit overthrown, and Greiber was turning his shoulder. One, to avoid that incoming hit, but had to adjust slightly midair, and as he was rotating, that's when it went through the hands.
So it'll be Luca Martinez in punt formation. Yes, the loose ball will be picked up by Esposito. Well, Sam, if they were at the 40 or the 50, you might consider going for it. Can't do it at your own 26.
No.
I guess you could, but that would be the Dan Campbell way of football. Pretty good punt. It's a rugby-style punt, and it's going to take a friendly Fenwick hop as it's near the 42. Late push that time by Paris. No call. As the Corsairs in great field position. And the punting game, Sam, it's one of those things you don't think about it until you need it. That time the Corsairs need it, and they didn't get it.
Yeah, and we've seen some good returns so far this season from Montgomery, the junior returner. And I honestly feel like that ball taking a Fenwick roll, just kind of dying around the 40, is honestly better because Montgomery was ready to take that one full head of steam.
Clean pocket for Williams, scans the field, he'll run with it as he gets past the line of scrimmage. Hold on to that ball, Jamin. There's a lot of Corsairs around it, including Zach Case. See where they spot it. Right now it's at the 43. That's where the ball will remain. 2nd and 9. He has no running backs in the backfield. Another 5 wide receiver set. Hard count. Corsairs weren't fooled.
They got Frankie Hosty, backup quarterback, and is the receiver on the near numbers.
Clean pocket, scans the field. Now he'll roll to the left. A little bit high. Got to complete that pass, Sam. He had time. That's on the quarterback.
Yeah, and that's to a big target, too, with Andrew Bjorson. I've seen him go Bjorson's way the last couple of weeks. 2 weeks ago at Benedictine, Bjorson had 2 touchdowns. Last week, a bit quieter, but was still a bailout option when he needed him most. You can't really be missing a target that big by that much.
Especially when he's wide open like that. Another hard count. You're going to have to earn the yards tonight. The Corsairs thus far are not fooled. Morgan in the backfield, clean pocket. Looking downfield for Romeus. Was there a push? There's the flag. It was pretty blatant, Sam. Not much of an argument by the nearest cornerback.
Romeus is going to be grateful for that one-on-one against Emilion Gallardo.
The coverage was there. This ball downfield. I don't know, Sam. I saw it on replay. It looked like Romeus's feet got tangled up.
Well, I was going to say it looked like their feet got tangled up together, but it also looked like that wasn't a catchable ball. And I know that that's always going to be up to each official's discretion. But it looked like Romeus didn't have the best route to it. But Fryer's certainly not going to complain.
Jamin down on the field as he'll have to limp off. Frankie Hosty will come in for at least one play.
Hosty last week, 1 for 4, 32 yards and an interception.
So when we reset play, it'll be 10 minutes even on the clock. 1st and 10 at the Corsairs 42. Hosty, the senior, he actually started the year as the starting quarterback. He split time with Jamin in that blowout win over OPRF. And we saw him in the Bennett game when Jamin was struggling a little bit in the red zone. Hosty came in. But here we go.
Yeah, Hosty in that game, 3 for 5, 45 yards and a touchdown.
Makes the handoff. Hosty will roll outside the pocket, but he won't get out of it. Got to protect your quarterback, partner. When you can't, that's what happens.
Yeah, Bertacci, the guard, got fooled on the move on the interior part of the line.
It's an offensive line led by their right tackle, Timothy Woods, and it was just a 3-man sack on that play. Left tackle and Logan Schultz. Hosty, comes the pressure, one-on-one coverage, and that time no pass interference. Good coverage, and it was by Benjamin Harris, the combo D-back wide receiver. 2nd and long, looks like 3rd and 18 now. With 9:24 to go. 1 in the backfield, 3 wide receiver set. You don't have to get it all on this play, Sam, but to even consider going for it, got to get at least 12 yards.
Well, Fenwick last week was 1 for 12 against Mount Carmel on 3rd down as well. A lot of faith in Hosty to air it out here.
He's got a man, Marshall, behind the defensive back. Touchdown, Marshall! Touchdown Friars. Nate Marshall. It's not his primary position, Sam, but for people that don't know him, they could fool him.
Well, we saw him get utilized in that same role. Not the deep threat down the field. He was a red zone weapon 2 weeks ago when they traveled to Lisle to take on Bennett Academy. Was used in a reception and on a two-point conversion against the Red Wings. Marshall, though, turning on the Jets and getting past his guy. Now he's going to take the snap. Wildcat Marshall himself.
How about that, partner? The two-point conversion. They like to do that a lot because he's hard to bring down in the open field. Two-point conversion is good, and that makes it 8-0 in favor of Fenwick. We're going to take a break. You're watching the Friars against the Corsairs here on SBS.
Are you looking for some good food after a Fenwick football game? Then head on over to O'Sullivan's Public House. Located on Madison Street in Forest Park, O'Sullivan's Public House has daily drink specials alongside a year-round beer garden. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. O'Sullivan's PH offers dinner until 10 p.m. Even cooler, O'Sullivan's offers a late-night menu until 11:30 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. On the weeknights, O'Sullivan's has a late-night menu until 11 p.m. And for the fall.
Kyle Smith alongside Sam Corbett as it's 8-0 Fenwick. Just when things were starting to go the Corsairs' way, a deep pass from Hosty all the way to Marshall, 42 yards on the touchdown pass, as Sir will have the kick return. His kick from Sir is into the end zone. That's back-to-back no returns from the Corsairs, as we'll see what Trey Taylor, the young man under the age of 16, can do for Carmel here.
And going back to the Friars offense really quick, going back to that Bennett Academy game 2 weeks ago, they were up 28-0 at half. And then last week against Chicago Mount Carmel, they scored all 10 of their points in that first quarter. So we know that the Friars can come out and score quickly, but it's a matter of can they keep up that pace throughout the rest of the game.
If the Corsairs are going to come back, they got to find the way to get it to Jaron Black. He's their all-encompassing running back. He likes to block, pick up the blitz. He likes to catch it in the backfield.
My favorite quote from him is he said, quote, "I like throwing blocks the best." That's one of the, if you're a wide receiver and you're not getting the ball, that's the best way to keep yourself out on the field. Throw a block, preferably on a cornerback or a safety. If you go headhunting for a Mike linebacker, you might wake up pretty sore.
Takes the handoff. Taylor, and he's pressured, somehow gets out of it. Looks downfield, right on target. Beautiful pass to Black as Black gets past midfield. That was all Trey Taylor doing Trey Taylor things, getting outside the pocket, getting to his playmaker, and Jaron Black did the rest.
Yeah, there's pressure from the right side from Aiden Burns, and then Taylor rolling out, evading him. Finds Black in the open field. And head coach Jason McKee has praised Black already, saying that his biggest strength is yards after catch. Elusive style and good cuts, and what we saw there, once he gets down the sideline, it's just another level of acceleration.
This time a handoff, a little bit of misdirection, still on his feet. That's a nice gain by Day. He's going to be a yard short. And we were wondering when the Corsairs offense would start to get in a roll. Now they're doing so. It's not going to be easy for Fenwick tonight, especially when you're going up against Lamberti, who was over 300 pounds at left tackle. Handoff up the middle. He's short. Even in the high school game, Sam, where they like to give the benefit of the doubt for first downs, he's short.
Well, Nate Marshall on the near side won his battle and broke through the line right away, and I think the official closest to it saw that.
So it's going to be 3rd and 1, ball spotted at the 39.
Marshall and Burns we've already preached, but Patrick Gilboy as well, another senior linebacker, part of this front seven on the Friars that at times is so dangerous.
Clean pocket for Taylor, looks for the screen. He got it. Excellent job on the tackle by Dominic Esposito, avoiding the horse collar. That was a clean tackle, partner, and a first down for the Corsairs.
That was a touchdown-saving tackle, Kyle. That was great job by Esposito. Again, avoiding the penalty as well. That might be on a WWE highlight before it finds itself on a how-to tackling highlight. But Esposito, you know, he gets kind of lost in the fold with the rest of these defensive players that I've been talking about. He's been getting about 3-4 tackles the last couple of games, but steps up in a big way there.
The clothesline, one of the famous wrestling moves. It's clean in football as long as you don't pick them up. Their handoff off the shotgun formation. Didn't get much. Second and long coming up.
Jameer Miles checking into the game, freshman wide receiver. Number 81, another tall, lanky target if Taylor looks to throw.
We talked about how much size is on this offensive line for Carmel Catholic. You talked about Lamberti, but there's so many other guys that you have to mention for the Corsairs. Fakes the handoff. Quick pass and well read by the Friars. Combination tackle. It was Thies as well as Fluke on the play. Third and long coming up for Carmel.
Jake Thies, 6 tackles last week. Good job keeping the hips low and not being fooled by the juke move.
Lamberti is 315, but the biggest guy is actually Strouder at 325. But Lamberti's got the 5-inch advantage in terms of height. Big offensive line at Mundelein. 3rd and 8, 1 in the backfield, 3 wide receiver set. Clean pocket for Taylor, scans the field, now comes the pressure from Esposito. He'll get out of it, but he's tackled in the open field.
It's Thies once again, and it's the exact same play. He keeps his eyes low on the hips. Taylor tries to juke him out, everything flashy up top. He stays low, wraps him up right around the midsection. Great job there by Thies.
Fenwick went right down the field on Carmel. It's a Carmel defense hasn't been fantastic the last 3 weeks, but it looks like they're in punt formation. Pretty far away. Taylor didn't get much on the QB sneak. If he'd gotten 2 more yards, he could have considered it, but they're going to punt.
Nobody back deep to return for the Friars.
False start. Sam, do you think that Carmel did it on purpose to gain 5 more yards on the punt?
Yeah, give themselves some breathing room. And now, now we're going to see Montgomery, the return man, go back deep.
A lot of different ways where a team can gain 5 more yards on a punt. Usually they just take the delay of game. I've never seen an automatic or on-purpose false start. 4th and an eternity. Good hang time.
Headed out.
Shake it a little bit, yeah. It's going to be inside the 20. See if they spot it. Oh, boy, Sam, that's a friendly spot. I thought it went out at the 16. They're going to say 13. So far, so good for the Friars. Not only are they winning, but they got the 2-point conversion as well.
Whenever, you talked earlier about potentially getting the big lineman Lamberti involved in the scoring game. I think the Friar coaching staff heard you and said, if they're going to get Lamberti involved, let's get Nate Marshall the ball. We got our own version of William the Fridge Perry.
He can play wide receiver, too. Handoff up the middle. Nice run by Morgan. You know, he wasn't the starter coming in. Nino Zamir was, but he tore his ACL, unfortunately, in training camp. And Morgan is more than capable of taking the reps as the bell cow back, and he's done a good job this season.
Last week, struggles all around for the Friars. Averaged 1 yard per carry. But again, that Mount Carmel team is whatever assignment you're going to draw against the Caravan, it's going to be a tough night.
Yeah, I was just a little bit surprised because they got the forced fumble. And they got the early field goal. They couldn't put it in the end.
They had 3 total fumbles, or 3 total takeaways, excuse me.
Yeah. 3rd and 4, they didn't gain anything on that last running play.
Yeah, Hosty trying the hard count. Nobody jumping on the front line for the Corsairs.
Here comes the pressure. Hosty, well read by the Corsairs.
Ball was down.
Yeah. In fact, I don't even know if he actually caught the ball. Let's see if they, because if he caught it, it would be a tackle for loss. If they say incomplete pass, it's 4th and 4. They're going to say incomplete pass.
Jamin Williams still on the bench with 2 trainers around him. Last week I praised Noah Sir in his kicking game. Made a couple of field goals 2 weeks ago and a 24-yarder last week. He had 7 punts last week after the Friars offense kind of stumbled. Averaged 44 yards, his long was 56. This is a boot.
No choice but to get the fair catch, but decent field position for the Corsairs as Harris signaled for the fair catch. Corsair offense back on the field. Fenwick's defense on the last drive bended but not broke. Let's see what they can do on this drive.
Well, Kyle, the good news about Marshall, he already stands, about 6 inches above the rest of the defensive line. He's rocking the pink this week. He rocked a little bit last week as well for the Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Flag down.
Good pass, but this might be coming back. He did complete it to Larry Wilder.
Marshall nearly got a paw on that one. He's had a pass breakup each of the last 2 weeks. Not to mention a forced fumble each of the last 2 weeks as well.
It's on the offense. Legal shift called against the Corsairs. Partner, sometimes you want to be an innovative offensive coordinator, but when you complicate it so much at the varsity level, sometimes the players get confused by it.
Well, and especially with them having a sophomore quarterback in Taylor, that's something else that they have to, figure out throughout the season is how complicated of a playbook can we get?
It's true. Should be 1st and 15 against the Corsairs. Ball spotted at the 37. As they're going to do a substitution on the sideline. I believe Wilder's going out.
That's Delorme coming in, senior fullback, 5'10", 200 pounds.
Little naked boot.
Looking Delorme's way.
And it's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to the fullback in Delorme, but incomplete. 2nd and a long 15. The Carmel offense tonight, they take 1 step forward with that nice completion, and then it's 2 steps back on the illegal shift, and then they can't even complete an easy naked boot in the flat to their fullback.
And another one that from up here looked, for lack of a better term, in and out of the hands. Delorme not rocking any gloves, and we're starting to get to that point in the year where if a hard football hits your finger the wrong way, it's really hard to hang on to, especially with no protection.
This time a handoff. Fenwick's defense, Sam, we talked to Jamin Williams. Hopefully he can come back in this game. But we talked to Jamin Williams post-game show after they beat St. Ignatius. He thinks that Fenwick's defense is the best in the state. And was that a little hyperbolic? Well, maybe. A little bit of exaggerated, maybe. But sometimes you can see it. Fenwick is a top 10 defense on the field.
Well, whether it's Paris, Marshall, Burns, Thies, they have playmakers on all 3 levels.
3rd and 11. Taylor with a clean pocket, 3-step drop. He's going to run with it. Quarterback spy play. And a very nice open field tackle by Jake Thies. That's just not going to work tonight, partner. When it's 3rd and long, Taylor's going to have to pass the ball because they got 2 linebackers right at the chains for the quarterback spy tackle.
Well, Thies dropped all the way back to around the Friar 40 for a potential deep ball, and then as soon as he sees Taylor step up, he was across the other side of the field. He hits the perfect angle to meet Taylor before the yard-to-get marker. Thies has been having a phenomenal first quarter.
He sure has, partner, and that'll make it 4th and 9. Another punt. That one's blocked. Loose ball. And he fumbled. Rumbling, bumbling, stumbling. That would be a safety if Carmel recovered in their own end zone.
Nate Marshall had it. And then around the 20-yard marker, he loses it. Ball ends up on the ground.
Oh, my goodness.
And coming away with it in the end zone, it's the Friars.
Touchdown, Friars. Law of probability, Friars would get that ball. There were 3 Friars, 1 Corsair in the end zone. Touchdown, Friars. You got to be good at all 3 facets of the game. The Carmel defense, okay. The offense, meh, mediocre. And the special teams unit, not so good. And you get a punt block, touchdown Friars. Now it's 14-0, and you can't blame the defense on that one.
Well, and Martinez, the punter, roughed up after that one, too. Took a big hit as a Friar is down in the end zone as well. But Martinez was down for a little bit around the 40. Able to get off to the sideline on his own strength, but he was limping a little as well. So if you remove the punter with about a minute 30 left to go in the first quarter, it's one thing to struggle on the third phase of the game. It's another to just not have that be an option.
So Delarme was the last guy around it for the Corsairs. Behind him was Adams. Touchdown Friars.
It's Burns, the Friar who was shaken up on the play. He's limping as well. Has to be helped off by two coaches.
How about that? Usually when you try to do a scoop, it's like recovered by the offensive team. That time the scoop, it was fumbled by the Friars, and the momentum of the ball actually went in the end zone, and they got the touchdown anyways. This time an extra point. It's up and it's good. 15-0 Friars. They're rolling with a minute 32 remaining in the first quarter. You're on SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Are you looking for some good food after a Fenwick football game? Then head on over to O'Sullivan's Public House. Located on Madison Street in Forest Park, O'Sullivan's Public House has daily drink specials alongside a year-round beer garden. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. O'Sullivan's PH offers dinner until 10 p.m. Even cooler, O'Sullivan's offers a late-night menu until 11:30 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. On the weeknights, O'Sullivan's has a late-night menu until 11 p.m. And for the fall season, O'Sullivan's will offer 20% off food for athletes and coaches following
15-0 in favor of the Friars. They've scored in every different way, Sam. Touchdown pass, two-point conversion, a block punt, and a PAT. All three facets of the game rolling right now for the Friars.
And it's a good turnaround from last week in that 25-point loss to the Caravan. And we're getting to the point, Kyle, where it's do or die time for the Corsairs, who are trying to get back to the playoffs. Need a win tonight and a little bit of help, not a lot, but a loss would all but eliminate them from playoff contention.
Yeah, can't get in at 3-6. And at this point, you're down 15 points. I think you're just looking for a couple of first downs to get some momentum going, get some positive energy in that offensive huddle. Just nothing really going right outside of that pass to Black. Just haven't converted on third down tonight. 1st and 10 at their own 20. It also doesn't help that Sir has an absolute boot. No returns on the kickoffs. Gets to the edge. Nearing the 25, it's going to be a first down run, and man, did the Corsairs need that. Michael Pierre on the run. They're going to spot it, pass, well, we're actually right at the 30. As they're going to say went out of bounds right at the 30-yard line. Still got a long way to go, and the other problem is, Sam, because you're down 15 points, you'll take the 3, but the 3 now doesn't help you because you're down 2 scores instead of 1.
I feel like you're at the point, Kyle, where you're going for 6 no matter what.
High snap. Good blocking. Excellent pursuit, and the tackle delivered by Paris. Just everything's working well for the Friars. They had the block on the outside. Wilder was there on the reception, and then all of a sudden the speed from Fenwick gets into the play. It was a pretty good block delivered by Jackson, but
yeah, I was trying to figure out who it was laying the block. Jackson did a good job, but then after that was essentially used as a screen. Paris just fills the hole and nearly tabletops him.
Tackle for loss.
There he is again.
Who else but Jack Paris? 3rd and long. Michael Pierre was on the carry. Substitution for the Friars as Michael Murphy takes a seat. Charlie Hendricks into the game. As Esposito to the bench as well. 3rd and long, what do you want to call here if you're the offensive coordinator for the Corsairs?
I liked what they drew up, what they attempted to draw up on the last 3rd and long before Taylor had to scramble himself. Looking down the field on the near side for Black. You also have Grieber as an option.
3rd and a very long 8. And that'll do it for the quarter. We're going to take a break. It's 15-0 Friars here on SPS, the broadcasting network for everyone.
Sure,
Second quarter of action about to start. I'm Kyle Smith alongside Sam Brief. If you missed any of the action, hit that rewind and fast forward button. Also, go to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com if you'd like for us to broadcast your next sporting event, a broadcasting network for everyone. 3rd and long. This is how Cherry Taylor is going to make all that NIL money if he can convert here. One in motion, and then back to his original spot. Outside the pocket, here comes the pressure. Marshall was there on the pressure. Getting out of bounds is Taylor. No late hit. And here we go again. Punt formation coming up for the Corsairs unless they want to get risky here by going for it.
You're at the point where I almost think, you contemplate going for it.
I mean, you tried punt last time, it was blocked. Now that's on the blockers. I mean, the quarterback can't block too on special teams.
But again, this is the expectation of what Coach McKee said leading into tonight's game, of treating this like a playoff game. At what point does that quote become true and you start doing the unorthodox that we only see in the playoffs?
We've seen at the NFL level, teams going for it. This is a very nice punt. This time Montgomery is going to have to backtrack. In fact, he won't even return it. It's so hard, even at the NFL level, Sam. You're backtracking, trying to catch on the run, over the shoulder, Willie May style catch. Maybe if you were up 22-0 or more, you might risk it, but only up by 2 scores, you just let that ball go over your head and see if it takes a friendly Fenwick roll.
Well, and the awareness from Martinez, first off, good to see that he's not injured as badly as we thought he was after he sustained a pretty big hit on that last blocked punt, but much quicker transfer time on that one. That's why we saw it not have as much of a hang time, but like you said, when Montgomery, as soon as the shoulders turn all the way back, you just kind of had to give up on that one.
Clean pocket for Hosty. As it's a quick delivery to Bjorson, but he's drilled and sent out of bounds. It's one way to pick up your offense, pick up the intensity on defense, some big hits, and maybe that excites and ignites your offense. 2nd and very long. Didn't even gain a yard. 2nd and 10. Quick pass by Hosty as he got it to Smith. On the tackle was Delorme. Yeah, let's see what the senior quarterback has up his arsenal of stuff to do.
Hosty took a shot from Eli Jackson, the junior, on the left side.
Another hard count. They like to do that a lot, regardless of who the quarterback is. Got 4 yards on the play. 3rd and 6. Posty in the pocket, looks downfield, looking for Bjorson, underthrew him. And an excellent deflection on the play by Harris. He was called for that pass interference, which led to the touchdown reception to Marshall, but that time Harris saw it all the way. Can't be overly aggressive here. You're up 2 scores, and you're not even at the 40-yard line yet. Just trust in your defense, get a good punt, and hopefully you hold them out to another 3 and out.
Well, you talked about it, how he had the penalty earlier, nearly got another one there, but able to adjust himself right before going up, and then going up strong with the right, batting it down.
4th and 6. Sir in punt formation. High arching kick. Harris will not try to return it. And it just takes a very friendly Fenwick roll all the way inside the 20, near the 19. Everything's going Fenwick way. It's still early in the game to say that it's Fenwick's night, but a lot of breaks have gone their way, including the potential scoop and score. He dropped it, and then the momentum of the ball went into the end zone. They recovered it anyways.
Well, and on that punt just right there as well, we've seen the Corsairs get some punts that just kind of stop dead in their tracks. That one continues to roll for another 15, close to 20 yards.
First and 10 at their own 20. High snap. And it's completed as he got it to Eli Jackson. First and 10 for the Corsairs. Might need to consider a hurry-up offense. Just for a couple of plays, Sams, to get this Fenwick defense to be second-guessing themselves a little bit. Everything, it seems like they're in the offensive huddle for most of these plays from Carmel.
And we're just seeing the clock continue to wind down. It's not going to be too much of a concern. Like you said, it's still early, but if that trend continues.
Quick pass. Something the Corsairs are good at. They got a lot of size at wide receiver, but you got to get the ball out quickly. Otherwise, Jack Paris and Nate Marshall, they're going to get pressure on the quarterback. It's time to go no huddle. Not surprised by it. Esposito's got to get off the field. He didn't. That's too many men on the field. Didn't see a flag, though, over the middle. He was not a defenseless receiver, though, and it's going to be second
hit from
long.
Tommy Thies. We've been praising his brother Jake during the first quarter.
Are you surprised they didn't call too many men? Esposito, he had 3 feet before he finally got out of bounds.
The official on the near side wasn't even looking his way. Esposito, as soon as he got off, hung his head and was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get burned for this one." Got away with that one there. But again, another overthrown ball from Taylor.
He's off. It's not that cold tonight either. Can't be blaming the weather. Good snap. Out to the left. Still on his feet. Good yards after catch by Carter Caston. 3rd and short, Sam. What do you want to do here? Quarterback keeper?
I feel like that's the expectation, though. And we've seen so far tonight, Kyle, when the Friars can expect something, they do a phenomenal job of reading it and stopping it.
Right now it's shotgun. Nobody in the backfield. They're going to pass. Pump fake. Going deep. He's got a half step on the defense. Should be pass interference. Oh, boy. Going to watch it on replay in a second, but Sam, it looked like there was a lot of hand-holding on the nearest wide receiver for the Corsairs.
Yeah, Josh Morgan on the far side, the cornerback who may or may not have committed the penalty. Watching it back.
Yeah, it's definitely a push.
Yeah. Some elbow extension with the left on Morgan.
I'm just surprised. It was very similar to what Harris did.
Yeah.
In fact, Harris, you could make the argument he just got tangled up with Romeus. That was a clear push. Meanwhile, 4th and 1. Got to go for it. 1 in motion. Good job by Taylor. He was not set yet. If they had snapped the ball, that would have been a legal shift or legal motion. Not the greatest snap. They didn't get it.
Yeah, Taylor bobbled the snap. Took a gather step, half a step backwards, slipped a little.
What a break for the Friars. A lot was happening there. You watch it one more time. Was Fenwick even set? They were. It was just a great jump. And the jump was by Patrick Gilboy. I still don't understand why they didn't call pass interference. And even if they did, it's only a 15-yard penalty. It's not a spot foul like it is in the NFL, but still, that was definitely pass interference and a break for the Friars. Morgan on the handoff, and he's still on his feet. He'll get close to the original line of scrimmage, might have lost a half a yard.
Yeah, tried to immediately turn himself around. Designed run to the right side. That hole immediately gets filled. Big number 99, Nathan German for the Corsairs, plugging that hole.
These were the stats late in the first quarter. Hosty had 1 completion and a touchdown pass. Taylor was good, 4 of 6, 43 yards, a long of 32. Black with the 32-yard reception. Got to be able to run the ball, though. Just 7 carries for 16 yards in that first quarter for the Corsairs. Half a step on the defense. Diving forward is Romeus, and that time no pass interference, just an incompletion.
I was about to say it looked like Jonathan Anderson, who was tied up with Romeus on that one. Almost got a yellow penny of his own, but going back to what we just saw take place with Morgan with the Friars, I'd imagine if we saw a penny fly there, Kyle, this stadium would have erupted with some disappointment from the visiting fans.
And that was Jordan McKee on the coverage. Romeus was the nearest receiver. Doing Daddy proud on that play. And 3rd and 10. Hosty with a clean pocket. Hosty. Flag on the play. Might be against Fenwick. Hosty, pump fake, still on his feet. That's not what he's known for, partner, but he almost got the linebacker to bite. Almost went around him. See what they call the flag here.
Yeah, he tried to shimmy around, but this is almost certainly going to be holding on the offensive line.
Would you decline if you're Carmel, or do you accept it to bring Fenwick back 10 more yards?
For the sake of field position, I pin him back almost. You'd have to. Oh. Well, second time tonight, I've said one thing, and the Corsair coaching staff has done the other. But granted, Coach McKee spent close to a decade in the NFL, so I'm going to let him take the reins on this one.
You get the ball back. Punting game's been good for Noah Sir. Passing game lately, though, for Fenwick, you pin him back 10 more yards, you make Hosty make a play.
Yeah, because again, the one completion that he did have was the great touchdown.
4th and long. Good hang time. Cannot return this one. And it's going to be inside the 20. Field position has been a problem for the Corsairs. Seems like every time the Friars have it, it's at the 30 or the 40. Corsairs are at the 20 or inside their own 20.
Yeah, they're placing this one just beyond the 15-yard marker.
That was the thing you talked about, Sam, and I agree with you. If you have 3rd and 20. Now, would they have done a draw play, a late draw, a shotgun draw to maybe gain the 10 yards back?
Right, you would erase some of that, but
I guess it's possible that would have happened. That's why the character Captain Hindsight's so popular on South Park. 1st and 10 at their own 16. Clean pocket for Taylor. In the flat. Nice hesitation move. Still on his feet as a couple of nice moves by Pierre as he gets past the 45. And that's going to be a 29-yard completion. They're actually going to spot it, not at the 45, near the 40.
Yeah, he dashes inside, gets Timponi to bite on him, cuts back in, and then once he gets beyond the hash mark, it's just turning on the second jets for some more acceleration.
Very smart play that time, Sam. He knew that he needed to get the completion first. He just catches it and then backtracks out of bounds. No need to try to catch and then try to make a move. When that happens, sometimes you drop the ball because you're trying to do too much. 2nd and 5. In the flat again, this time double teamed. Does get the first, as good job by Jackson.
Can we talk about how Jackson just gained another 2 yards after needling through 2 different defenders, both Flukie and Henricks on the pursuit, and instead of trying to juke around either of them, just goes right in between.
Good pitch and catch. Delivered out of bounds. Completed to Caston. Problem is, though, you're down 15. How big was that block punt by Fenwick? The field goal still kind of helps, but not really for the Corsairs.
But if you're able to punch this in, with how the Friars have been operating, more than likely your last possession before halftime, at least, yeah, there's going to be a late personal foul there. Taylor getting tied up along with Lamberti.
Just bad discipline. It's 2nd and 2. Just let the quarterback go out of bounds and live another down.
How about Lamberti stepping up for his guy after Taylor took the shot?
It's not a guy you'd like to mess with. 6'8",
No,
315 pounds.
But that's what he's been praised about. 4-year starter. Coach McKee has said that he's the voice of the team. I view that typically as a leader role, like a motivate the troops kind of thing, but voice of the team is also, oh, you touch my quarterback, I will hurt you.
In the flat. Duncan dives. Look, it's not the most fun thing to watch, but there's a reason why Tom Brady won 6 Super Bowls doing it.
7.
That's right, 7. Do we count the Tampa Bay thing? Or
now here's the thing, I'm a Patriots fan, so I don't want to, but you have to.
Look at Trey Taylor. Out of the pocket, beautiful throw on the move. And he hasn't even played an A-plus game tonight. Imagine when he's on his game how much better it can look.
But I'm seeing every single play he's surveying where number 9 is. Rocking the high pink socks, he's a neon sign, and especially when he blows up the line of scrimmage and he's on your tail. Taylor's done a good job evading Nate Marshall so far tonight, though.
Clean pocket for Taylor to the sideline. 5 yards, 7 yards at a time. Fenwick is taking away the big routes, the chunk yards, but Trey Taylor, he's just dissecting this defense right now.
Well, and with how slowly that the Corsair offense was operating before this, there's still 7 minutes left before halftime.
You know, partner, I understand you want to make sure you score a touchdown. Now, are they going to call it on Carmel or Fenwick? I thought Carmel called it. Sam, who called it, Fenwick or Carmel? I'll take a 30-second break while we figure out who called the timeout. You're watching SBS, the broadcasting network for everyone. Just mute the mic.
Are you looking for some good food after a Fenwick football game? Then head on over to O'Sullivan's Public House. Located on Madison Street in Forest Park, O'Sullivan's Public House has daily drink specials alongside a year-round beer garden. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. O'Sullivan's PH offers dinner until 10 p.m. Even cooler, O'Sullivan's offers a late-night menu until 11:30 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. On the weeknights, O'Sullivan's has a late-night menu until 11 p.m. And for the fall season, O'Sullivan's will offer 20% off food for athletes and coaches following home Fenwick games. For more information, go online.
Kyle Smith alongside Sam Corbett as the timeout was indeed called by Fenwick. 2nd and 5 at the 8-yard line with 6:55 to go. I think you just call an out route to Black here, but let's see what they want to do. Clean pocket for Taylor. Now he'll run up the middle with it. Dives for the first down. He's at least a yard short.
Good awareness to see that nothing's open. Taking himself up the middle, but got to do a better job with ball security. Got wildly spun around. Ball was not tucked in at all. And there's a Fenwick team that really prides itself on punching the ball out. Had multiple forced fumbles the last 2 weeks.
3rd and 2, so you can still get a first down. If for some reason Taylor is sacked here, the Corsairs might kick the field goal. Now they're going to call a timeout. We'll stick with the action. So the Corsairs and the Friars have both used the timeout. I don't know, partner. You never know when you're going to need that timeout later on in the half. I know you need to score points here, but you should know what you're doing because Fenwick called that timeout, which gave technically you a free timeout.
But this is a different situation, 3rd and short, like you said, because, again, if they don't get this, then it's a matter of, with how conservatively we've seen them play, I'd almost expect them to go for the field goal if they're not able to convert.
I think it would have to be a sack. They're running the spread, so everything's
Are you
shotgun,
looking
so
for some
sack
good
is less
food
common.
after a Fenwick football game? Then head on over to O'Sullivan's Public House.
Trey
Located
Taylor
on
taking
Madison
the
Street
snaps, I don't
in
think,
Forest
Taylor
Park,
would take a coverage
O'Sullivan's
sack
Public House has daily drink specials
blitz?
alongside a year-round beer garden. Open daily from 11.
The pocket.
Yeah. Taylor would probably just throw it away. 3rd and 2. They're going to go under center. Handoff. It's close. I don't think he got it, though.
I think he got enough for the first, though. Right up the middle. There was pressure on both sides. Jake Thies off the left side.
I'm surprised. That was a very friendly spot. Watch it one more time. Yeah, it looks like it is close to the 2-yard line. Okay. 1st and goal, they run the old handoff play under center. 1st and goal, ball near the 2. Handoff. Inside the 1. The other thing is, too, Sam, Carmel is in no hurry to score here. They're going to mark it at the 1. 2nd and goal at the 1.
Surprised they're not running it just right behind Lamberti. Been going to the right side the last 2 runs.
Quarterback keeper. I don't think he got it.
Yeah, he got driven backwards that time.
It's going to be a no gain or a half-yard loss. Obviously, the Corsairs will go for it unless they get sacked.
Colin Murray on the stop there.
And here's where I would have liked Fenwick to call a timeout because Carmel is bleeding that clock on purpose. You don't want to call 2 timeouts, though, on the same drive. 3rd and goal at the 1. Under 5 to go in the first half. They're going to switch the formation. 1 wide receiver wide. Handoff. Went into his own blocker. Tackle for loss. Friars with a huge 3rd and goal stop.
McKee across the left side going behind Lamberti that time. The Friar D-line just drives the rest of that Corsair front 5 backwards. You said it, Kyle. Just right into the backside of one of his linemen. Tried to stay on his feet and kick it out afterwards, but too much pressure from the Friars up front.
I know you want the 7, but I do think there is such a thing as putting 3 on the board to give your offense some kind of confidence going into the second half.
Right.
But I understand why you would go for it. Timeout called by the Corsairs.
Well, maybe they reconsider this field goal attempt. Try and draw up a 4th and short.
You burn some clock. See if Fenwick wants to call a timeout. They didn't. You burned as much clock as you did. You can't take the delay game. I mean, I guess you could, but
if you take that, you're almost certainly going for the field goal then.
Right.
Give yourself some pressure or some relief of pressure off the edge, I guess. But again, I can't see them calling this timeout without at least contemplating, do we feel confident enough? Because with how we've seen the Fenwick front 7 just make stops and plug holes these last couple of plays. A lot of things to consider if you're Coach McKee.
You do have the quarterback. If you want to run a naked boot or a bootleg, he is averaging over 8.7 yards per carry coming into this one. They're going to go for it, at least right now. Will they do a hard count and force the Friars to call a timeout? Pitch to the right. Here comes the flea flicker to the end zone. Touchdown pass. Excellent execution by the Carmel Catholic Corsairs. Donnie Day to Jack Greiber. Touchdown pass.
Greiber's 2nd week in a row with a receiving touchdown. That always seems to slip behind everybody. As soon as I saw a toss, my mind went to flea flicker.
Yeah, I mean, and that's something that Fenwick has to know. You're not going to try to do a pitch, as that one's blocked and missed by Carmel Catholic. So now it's still a 2-possession lead. So after all that, if you had just kicked the field goal, you would have lost out on 3 points. Now, you can't think like that. You're going to miss the PAT. But that's the thing that Fenwick has to learn as they get closer to the postseason. When they run a pitch play on 4th and goal, it's most likely flea flicker because you'd really have to trust in your blockers to try to gain 4 yards on a pitch play.
Right, and we saw the Friars just everybody sell out towards the ball carrier. Grieber just all by himself in the back corner.
You know, just watch your wide receiver. Once he breaks, you go with the wide receiver. Easier said than done. It's a lot easier to be an armchair general manager than an actual one, but you know, congratulations to the Corsairs. They're fighting hard. I would have kicked the field goal, but nice play call. The flea flicker, and it works. Plenty of time for the Fenwick Friars. If you're just joining us, Frankie Hosty is the quarterback, at least for now. Jamin Williams shaken up. Could be an ankle, could be a hamstring.
Williams shaken up, and on the defensive side of the ball, Aiden Burns has been on the sideline for quite some time, now rocking some crutches. Was very slow to get up, hesitant to put some weight on his right leg.
It is high school college rules, so clock stops briefly on a first down. They'll return this. Romeus on the return. And he's going to be tackled in the open field. Excellent job delivery on the tackle by Jameer Miles. And with 3:50 to go, let's see how aggressive Fenwick goes on offense here. Seen everything tonight, partner. We saw the quarterback, the backup go into the game, rifled a ball downfield to Marshall. We saw him go for 2, the Wildcat to Marshall, blocked punt, and a flea flicker.
And you said it, they got plenty of time to drop some more shenanigans before halftime. 3 minutes, 50 seconds left to go, plus 2 timeouts if they care to use them.
Handoff, Morgan. So hard to bring down.
Yeah, he's just pinballing off of guys. Some extracurricular activities. Feel like there always are some of them. In the backfield, Quentin King getting tied up with one of the offensive linemen of the Friars.
2nd and 3. Hand off to Morgan. He was greeted by a lot of Corsair defenders. Wasn't a friendly greeting.
King again, he's really going at it with Jamari Washington. Number 64, the Friars, excuse me.
Fenwick is in no hurry here. We're going to update it on your screen. Carmel also has 2 timeouts. 3rd and 3 at the 30, hard count by Hosty. Couple of guys stacking the box for the Corsairs. Morgan in the backfield. Clean pocket for Hosty. Pump fake. Still in the pocket. Now he'll run with it. He was tackled on the play. He's way short of the first. The tackle was delivered by Marcellus Nawaluzzi.
It takes a special kind of quarterback to see 5 defenders coming your way and still decide, I'm going to run right at you guys, not try and kick this one outside.
4th and 2, probably a hard count here.
Jamin Williams also now using crutches. He's heading on a medical cart and will be evaluated.
You surprised Carmel just doesn't call a timeout? I mean, Fenwick, they'll just run clock as much as they can here. I know you want to preserve timeouts, but this is why you preserve timeouts for situations like this.
Coach Battaglia calls the timeout, immediately shaking his head, not happy with what he's seeing right now.
The offense has been in quicksand. I know they're up 15-6, but the only other touchdown was off a block punt. So they really haven't done anything offensively since that Nate Marshall touchdown pass. I know it's tough. A backup quarterback goes into the game, but Hosty's one of those special backups where Jamin Williams will struggle with accuracy at times, and they'll put Hosty in for special situations. So he's always warm on the sideline, ready to go.
Yeah, it's more of a split time backup situation as opposed to a true starter and clipboard holder.
4th and 2. Can't call back-to-back timeouts, so they will punt here or just let the delay of game happen. But you're inside your own 35, so you really don't want the delay game. Rugby-style punt. No, sir. 1st and 10 for the Friars. Gutsy.
I don't know how many times we're going to get away with seeing. We've seen everything tonight.
What's the old saying that Dan Fouts says during the movie The Waterboy? Last game of the year, Brad. Can't hold anybody back now. It is. There's no tomorrow for Carmel.
Yes. With the way this game has been going, seems like it.
Down the field. Oh my goodness, what a catch. But who caught it? Carmel saying they have it. Was it simultaneous reception? The back judge says interception. We're going to watch it on replay in a second.
Jordan McKee alongside Romeus. And I think it was both of them coming down with the ball at the same time, and McKee just straight rips it out of Romeus' hands.
I don't know about this one. Watch it one more time. It sure looks like simultaneous reception. Here it is, one more time. Sam, what do you think? I thought that was simultaneous reception.
It looks like Romeus is coming down with it, makes first contact with it, and then as they roll, he loses his control slightly. And because McKee's hands are on it as well at the same time, he just rips it out.
At the same time, though, what, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Fenwick got away with that pass interference. Trey Taylor, pump fake. Was there a receiver in the area? He's outside the tackle box. Sam, what is the rule?
I don't even know if that got to the original line of scrimmage either.
Right.
Looked like that skipped right around the 20.
So the spot is the 19. It looked like the ball got past the 20. Here it is one more time. He's outside the pocket. Yeah.
Okay, it lands just beyond the 20, yeah.
But it didn't look like he had a receiver within 10 yards.
Yeah, that was what the Fenwick coaches down in the field right near the official were clamoring about.
Excellent move, though, by Taylor. He looked like he was going to get sacked by Gilboy, but a late hesitation, a late pump fake, and it enabled him to get separation and get that ball off. Meanwhile, 2nd and 10 at their own 20. No matter what happens for Carmel tonight, they somehow have the ball at their own 20. High snap, looking for the screen, well read by the Friars. Somehow gets past the slew of defenders, though. Blown dead. Was there a flag on the field? He was brought out of bounds at the 30, I thought, but now they're going to spot at the 26.
Yeah, one of the whistles, really as he was making that right turn to cut up past the numbers before the sideline. Official was very keen to make sure that he didn't step out, but not able to keep both feet in bounds as long as he thought.
Dangerous pass by Taylor was well read by the Friars, including Jack Paris. I know you want to be up. I know you want to score here to make it 15-12 or better, but pick six certainly ain't going to help you. 4th and 4. Can't do it. If it were the 3rd or 4th quarter, maybe you go for it, but 2nd quarter, I think you got to be conservative here.
And given the placement of the ball. Because if the Friars make another stop, you give them just over a minute to go close to 70 yards. That's a lot tougher task than starting to drive right around the 30. Nearly blocked again.
Got to get that punt off. Montgomery still on his feet. Excellent job avoiding the horse collar. We've seen that twice tonight. One by each team.
Just spinning him around. Good job hanging on.
Carter, it sure seemed like the punter and Martinez is taking way too much time to get that punt off.
Yeah. The one beforehand where we were giving him his praises immediately. Knew he was going to the right side, put his head down, released it right away. The other couple of times he's been a bit antsy, trying to see if there is going to be some pressure from the edges of either of the Friars.
You know, sometimes you can blame the blocking on a punt. That time it's on the punter. Meanwhile, 1st and 10 at the 41. Plenty of time for the Friars. Little underthrown, but a comeback route and a beauty. And it's delivered to Stewart.
Haven't called Raphael Stewart's name much tonight. You said it though, Kyle. Underthrown ball by Hosty. Stewart has his man beat. Coming back in about a yard or two. Keeping his body in the right positioning. Flipping the field. And another sign of life for the Friars offense.
Like to get at least 5 more yards for your kicker. Pump fake by Hosty. He's thinking 6. He's got Stewart. Touchdown pass. It's delivered from Hosty to Stewart. Friar fans are loving it. Absolute silence from the away fans.
Stewart rarely used, but when they call his name, he delivers. 2 weeks ago against Bennett, 2 catches for 6 yards and a score.
It's been a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde game for Benjamin Harris. He was beat on coverage. And Raphael Stewart with a huge touchdown for the Friars. Line drive kick, and it's good. We're going to take a quick break. It's 22-6 in favor of Fenwick here on SBS, the broadcasting network for everyone. Oh, shit. Where is it? Okay. Oh, shit. I didn't know you're... Oh, make sure you mute that right away. Got to mute.
Are you looking for some good food after a Fenwick football game? Then head on over to O'Sullivan's Public House. Located on Madison Street in Forest Park, O'Sullivan's Public House has daily drink specials alongside a year-round beer garden. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. O'Sullivan's PH offers dinner until 10 p.m. Even cooler, O'Sullivan's offers a late-night menu until 11:30 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. On the weeknights, O'Sullivan's has a late-night...
You got to get rid of it. Because you have the other one going. You got to get blind that. 22-6 with 56 seconds left. I guess they should throw the ball downfield all the time because those are the times when the Fenwick offense has looked at its best. It's going to be returned at the 4 and then tripped up near the 20.
Got tripped up by his own teammate, laying a great block, Tim Mulcahy.
Yeah, it was Edmonds on the return.
Mulcahy just drives back the blocker of the Corsairs into the returner's ankles.
You know, we always bring up, should teams consider going for it? And I think that's what head coach Jason McKee was thinking about. Should we go for it on 4th and 4? I know we're at our own 26, but it's a Fenwick offense that can get the ball downfield quickly, and that's what they did on their last drive.
Still 2 timeouts for the Corsairs if they're able to break away some big chunk plays.
Yeah, don't have to spike right away. Taylor is going to run out of trouble, and he's going to get out of bounds. Absolute best case scenario right there for Carmel and the worst case scenario for the Friars.
Clock stops at 42 seconds. Picks up 25 yards.
They're going to place it at the 45. Carmel with 2 timeouts. Clock will stop briefly on a 1st. Clean pocket for Taylor. Looks downfield. He's got a half step on the defense. Out of bounds.
It's again Morgan in coverage. And again, he doesn't get the penalty called. One-on-one against Black, the favorite receiving weapon downfield for Taylor.
2nd and 10. I mean, they've tried to get it to Black tonight. Just really nothing has worked for the Corsairs outside of that flea flicker, a reception to Jaron Black, and a couple of quarterback sneaks by Taylor. Even when they scored, they missed the PAT. One in motion, that's Miles. Taylor, clean pocket. He backtracks. Now he goes out to the left, looking downfield. Tough throw.
Yeah, there's going to be a penalty. Jack Paris gave a really late hit to Taylor.
Second time that's happened. Earlier, got knocked out of bounds, did Taylor. After he was out of bounds, he got hit, and then a late hit by Paris. It's zero tolerance policy for the quarterbacks. It's a clean hit for most other players, but the quarterback, once he gets rid of the ball, you just got to let go.
Well, he had released it and then taken 2 to 3 steps, trotting back towards his sideline before Paris. It wasn't a, filthy hit. It's not going to land itself on any highlight, but it was as he was backtracking, and then Paris fully extends his elbow, shoving him back.
Ball at the 40 with 27 seconds to go.
And if you're Coach Battaglia, you're hoping that extra yardage doesn't spark some confidence towards the Corsairs' way if they can get a last-second score before halftime.
Pitch and catch. Only took up 4 seconds. I don't know how much you have confidence in your special teams unit. You had a punt blocked, you almost had a second punt blocked, and then you missed a PAT. I think you're thinking 6 here.
Well, we've seen Taylor air it out. Definitely got the shoulder strength to get it there.
Was that under control? You only need 1 foot in.
Yeah, that looked to be caught by.
Right, it was caught by Wilder. I think he was out of control once he hit the chain screw.
Yeah, trying to collect himself, make sure nobody takes a tumble.
But just because you get 1 foot in, if the ball's starting to bobble as you're going out of bounds, that would be an incompletion. First and 10 at the 30. 19 seconds on the clock. Here comes the pressure. Taylor to the end zone. Incomplete.
Pressure from Colin Murray. Taylor steps up, finds his guy. But again, this Friar secondary just giving him fits. We've talked earlier about the height and athleticism of these Corsair receivers, but Friars are sticking with them.
It was in the hands of Wilder, and then at the last second, Tim Pone with a nice deflection. Second and 10 at the 30. Can they bring the pressure again with 11 seconds left? Taylor, here comes the pressure. He's going to take the sack. Will the Corsairs call their timeout? They will.
It's Murray again, pressured off that far side. Blindside tackle, Tommy Lamberti.
How about that? When the Friars need a play, Lamberti got beat on the bull rush.
Exactly. 5 seconds to go. Time for Taylor to do some shoulder warm-ups and get ready to uncork one. Ball's at the 36.
Just knock it down. 5 seconds. If you wanted to get overly aggressive with it, you could do a fade route quickly to get 5 more yards. I don't think they'll do that, though. You lost 6 yards. So unless you have the next coming of Adam Vinatieri, they're not going to kick it. Be a 51-yard field goal, which is not a give me in the pros. Almost impossible at the high school level. Corsairs called their second timeout.
Jameer Miles, number 81, receiver on the near side. Lots of height.
Fenwick, yep. Fenwick didn't like what they saw, so we'll stick with the action.
Well, there was a lot of spacing. Now, granted, you're playing a prevent. But smart timeout, seeing how the Corsairs get set up. Burn one yourself.
If you're Carmel, do you consider doing something crazy like a hook and ladder when everybody's expecting Hail Mary? Do you do a hook and ladder and see if you can just sneak into the end zone?
I mean, any other night, I'd say let's just get to halftime. But with all the other crazy antics that we've seen tonight, both the unexpected and the designed playbook calls, we very well could see a hook and ladder.
You'd have to have a really fast guy. Black would be the guy you'd want the ball in your hands. because you'd have to get the ball and then you'd have to run to the corner and try to beat Marshall or somebody else.
Right.
Should be a standard Hail Mary. Taylor definitely has the arm strength, the future Division I quarterback. Here comes the pressure. Has to get outside the pocket, looks downfield, up in the air. And I think it was intercepted. Intercepted by Fenwick.
Charlie Henricks coming away with it at the end.
You know, partner, just nothing went well for Carmel Catholic in the first half. And an example was on that play, a simple Hail Mary, and they can't get the pass protection. So Trey's got to go outside the pocket to his left, where he's got to throw across his body. It's not what you really want.
Well, again, Lamberti got burned.
Interesting, too.
Yeah, it's been great pressure from Colin Murray, who's been getting the better of Lamberti recently. But we've seen this Fenwick team come out of the gates hot in the first half and be relatively quiet in the second half. A handful of times this season, the Friars will try to make that not be the case in 15 minutes' time.
Take a break. It's 22-6 here on SBS, the broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. SBS offers live telecasts on Channel 59.3, YouTube, or Twitch. We include pre- and post-game interviews with the players.
You know, I started in the locker room. All the boys were getting going before the game and stuff, and we kind of found a little click at the beginning of the game, so I think that's what got us going.
We also include digital live statistics, play-by-play commentary, team highlight reels, and even more than that. Go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com or search Sports Broadcast Solutions on YouTube. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary.
A no-hitter at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it.
Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede!
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the post-game show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith. Well, my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the Hurricanes win a battle down the stretch, 48-46.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kramer. I swim 50 breast, 50 free, and 100 back.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Instead of spending hundreds or thousands with all these college recruiting sites, let us put together your college highlight reel. For just a fraction of your potential college scholarship and significantly less than these recruiting services, we got this. In addition, we put together highlight reels for teams, including high school, your club team, or travel team.
My teammate gave me a great pass, and I just took it. The other team slashed me, took the opportunity, saw where the goalie was weak, and I just shot it there.
Solon, O'Connor, and Marsh back on defense, and Marsh gets a blowout. We got a breakaway at 2-0. A shot, and a goal! So 3-3. The power play was officially over.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you who would like to broadcast or live stream your event, or maybe make a highlight tape, but would like a sponsor to fund the event, SBS has a myriad of ways to advertise your sponsor during our broadcasts. We have commercials. We have on-air reads by the announcers.
Albatross Physical Therapy and Wellness specializes in pain-free.
We have graphics, and we have watermarks. Finally, Sports Broadcast Solutions can create a commercial for you or your sponsor. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you that just want raw footage of your sporting event, but no play-by-play or color commentary, you just need us to live stream video from the event over the internet. We will live stream your event on YouTube on our Sports Broadcast Solutions channel. In addition, we also have a dedicated channel on YouTube for live streaming at SBS Livestream. And if you need multiple channels, we can utilize Facebook Livestream and Instagram Live on our channel as well. Options include commercials from your sponsors, professional scoreboard graphics are still available, and of course, yes, pre- and post-game interviews are available as an option if you want.
We've been working really hard this whole summer and stuff.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. We broadcast sporting events for people of all ages, including adult leagues, high school leagues, and kids. Complete with professional-looking graphics, broadcasters, color analysis, and commercials. We do pre- and post-game interviews with the players. In addition, Sports Broadcast Solutions does highlight films, including college recruiting reels, highlight films you'd see on sports news programs, and just simply highlight films for fun. Sports Broadcast Solutions also provides raw footage and live streams if you'd like. Subscribe to us and listen to our professional talk videos about relevant topics in the pro and college ranks. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, contact us at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital world. This is Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. Check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital sporting world.
Are you looking for some good food after a Fenwick football game? Then head on over to O'Sullivan's Public House. Located on Madison Street in Forest Park, O'Sullivan's Public House has daily drink specials alongside a year-round beer garden. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. O'Sullivan's PH offers dinner until 10 p.m. Even cooler, O'Sullivan's offers a late-night menu until 11:30 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. On the weeknights, O'Sullivan's has a late-night menu until 11 p.m. And for the fall season, O'Sullivan's will offer 20% off food for athletes and coaches following home Fenwick games. For more information, go online to o'sullivansfp.com.
Isn't that putting the cart before the horse?
Yep.
You're not supposed to do that.
Nowadays, you have to, especially in the housing market, where you need to get a mortgage before you find the house. That's why with the Get Committed program from Compass Mortgage, you'll have a fully underwritten loan commitment that stands out even amongst cash offers. Not to mention, once you find the perfect home, you could close in as little as 15 days. Hey, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
You're pretty big on horse metaphors, huh?
Nay.
Getting in a bike crash is painful, and to add insult to injury, insurance companies don't want to compensate you fairly for all you've been through. The attorneys at Keating Law Offices are national leaders in bike accident cases with a history of success. We're available for free legal consultations with no obligation. There are never any attorney's fees unless we win your case. Contact us anytime. We are here to help.
Kyle Smith alongside Sam Brief. It's the halftime show brought to you by O'Sullivan's Public House / o'sullivansfp.com. They got a lot of passing yards in that first half, Sam. They had 159 passing yards. And how about this? They only scored 6 points, but Eli Jackson had 6 catches. Carter Caston had 5. Michael Pierre had 4, but they only scored 1 touchdown. Why? Because a lot of 5-yard out routes, getting it to the flat, and that works, but eventually you got to get the ball downfield, and they've struggled with that today.
Well, they haven't, strayed away from it. We've seen them uncork a few deep ones, but it's just been a real tough nightmare from this Fenwick secondary. We've talked a lot about their front seven, getting to Taylor, forcing him to escape the pocket a lot, but the secondary in coverage has been doing an equally strong job.
Running the football, the running backs have not been able to get it done today. Taylor with 26 yards as the quarterback. Everybody else a combined 19. 45 total yards rushing for the Corsairs. For the Friars, they have really struggled running the football today. 11 net yards. They had 20 gain, 9 lost. Hosty, he struggled running the football today, partner. He has -6 net rushing yards. But he came off the bench today. Williams got hurt. Frankie Hosty, 5 of 10. The completion percentage not there at 50%, but he has 113 yards passing, 2 touchdown passes, including a 50-yarder to Nate Marshall, and that's where we stand right now, 22-6 lead.
Well, with Hosty, we're seeing an extended experience from him as well. The last couple of games, he's just been in for a handful of drives at the end of games where a lot of it is handoffs anyway. He's only attempted 10 total throws the last 2 weeks. Total of just over 10 yards with a touchdown and a pick, but extended play time for him today. We already mentioned Williams down with a lower body injury, as well as Aiden Burns on the defensive side for the Friars. Both of them in crutches.
Raphael Stewart, 2 catches for 59 yards. Nate Marshall, 1 for 50. Treston Smith, 1 for 4, and Andrew Bjorson, 1 for 0 yards. Only 5 catches, but 2 of those catches have been lethal, and a blocked punt, and that's where we stand right now. Can Carmel come back? They're down 2 scores. Only time they scored was off a flea flicker on 4th and goal, so if Fenwick could just stay within their gaps and not bit on the pitch play, it might be a shutout right now.
Carmel last week against Loyola Ramblers, allowed Loyola to run away with 3 straight scores, a 17-0 run. That game was a bit closer than this one when they hit the half. It was 17-7 last week. Currently 22-6 in favor of the Friars, but this is a team, for the Corsairs at least, the last couple of weeks, that second half kind of slow, but same thing can be said about the Friars, Kyle, so it's all about who has the energy out of the break.
Are you surprised that Carmel Catholic, especially with Lamberti leading the way at left tackle, that Lamberti has been bit twice on some bull rushes?
Some bull rushes and some really strong moves from this front seven of the Friars. A lot of the focus has been on him, sending multiple guys his way, stunts. He's D1 bound, but so are some good players on this Friar defensive line.
What have you seen from Taylor? Obviously, he's the top quarterback in this class. We're going to start the half really soon here, but it'll be kicking off to the Friars, 22-6 lead. As here we go, and they'll call for the fair catch. I don't know if that was by design, partner, but it's pretty good field position nonetheless for the Friars.
Yeah, swung away, fair caught by Jimmy O'Brien. But I know we're not going to see him to start this half, but Taylor's looked, solid enough. There's been some trouble. We've talked about how Lamberti's had a rough night, and Taylor's been flushed out of the pocket a lot, but he's been close enough with a lot of his throws. After, a couple throws early on, Kyle, we made note, just nowhere near some of his intended targets, especially on that first drive. But down the stretch, rounding out the second quarter, a lot more accurate.
Handoff up the middle to Morgan, as that's what Fenwick would like to do. They'd like to keep that clock running. Only time they've been successful offensively is on the big chunk plays. Frankie Hosty doing an admirable job coming in for Williams. Completion percentage not there, though, just 50% off the bench today. 2nd and 9, ball at the 29. Clean pocket for Hosty, looks downfield, it's Smith. Past the 40, eye in the goal line. Touchdown, Treston Smith. Touchdown, Friars. It's like a video game. The only thing they can complete is Treston Smith over the middle, or Nate Marshall, or Raphael Stewart with the chunk plays.
While they're in coverage, Smith just makes half a move going towards the edge and then shimmies back towards the middle and then just turn and burn speed to get by him. Well, like you said, Kyle, chunk plays seem to be paying off in favor of the Friars.
When it works, it works. It's not the easiest way to win a football game, but that's how they're doing it. Extra point good. We're going to take a break. It's all Friars tonight, 29-6 on the Corsairs here on Senior Night on SBS.
Are you looking for some good food after a Fenwick football game? Then head on over to O'Sullivan's Public House. Located on Madison Street in Forest Park, O'Sullivan's Public House has daily drink specials alongside a year-round beer garden. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. O'Sullivan's PH offers dinner until 10 p.m. Even cooler, O'Sullivan's offers a late-night menu until 11:30 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. On the weeknights, O'Sullivan's has a late-night menu until 11 p.m. And for the fall season, O'Sullivan's will offer 20% off food for athletes and coaches following home Fenwick games. For more
try to use your peripheral eye vision, see the flag. My team, I don't have a free play. If you see the defense jumps, the old Aaron Rodgers play.
Gilboy again.
Over to the sideline.
Number 3 is just giving everybody on that offensive line fits. Gilboy last week, 3.5 tackles, half a sack, and a fumble recovery.
First and 10 to the 39. As that was a screen pass attempt, no one home. .805 on the clock, Sam. It's starting to run out right now for the Corsairs.
Yeah, it feels like if they don't convert on this third down, everything else afterward is going to just feel like the inevitable.
Getting outside the pocket is Taylor, running a whole mile to complete that pass. Finally to Greiber, breaking off a tackle. He broke off Esposito, still on his feet. Then Marshall finally brings him to the turf. Taylor again making something out of nothing. He ran from one side of the pocket to the other, completed it, and then Jack Greiber breaking off tackles.
Yeah, spinning through 2 defenders in a row. Running east-west about 70 yards to get a gain of 9, but on 4th and 1 now, this is going to be pivotal play tonight. Last week, Fenwick's defense allowed the Caravan to convert 3 of their 4 fourth down attempts.
Probably going to be a quarterback keeper here. 2 in the backfield, Greiber in motion. Now he goes to the tight end spot. They got it. Taking up too much clock, though, to score this touchdown. You know, we talked about that play from Taylor. He ran what seemed to be 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage to complete the pass. And then Greiber bounced off those tackles. After all that, they only gained 9 yards, and it took 20 seconds to complete that pass.
6:55 to go, clock rolling. We saw this in the first half too, Kyle. Rather slower, more relaxed tempo before kind of kicking into it halfway through the second quarter.
And that's okay when it's 15-0, but not so much when it's 29-6.
Right. There has to be that next level of urgency. Miscommunication there. Receiver got spun around. Good coverage by Thies, but trying to find Pierre. Pierre was looking upfield. The throw from Taylor, he had to cut back.
Second and long. Like we talked about, Sam, unless you can score in the next minute, I think you're thinking onside kick. I don't know how many more times you're going to get the ball back. Hosty threw a pick technically. Me and you disagreed. I thought you could make the case for simultaneous reception. They gave McKee credit for the interception. But that's it. Hosty has not made a lot of bad decisions tonight. He's been inaccurate, but not bad decisions. 2nd and 10 to the end zone. Wide open. Overthrew him.
Had his man beat. Morgan in coverage.
It was to Black.
Yeah, trying to find his favorite weapon, Jaron Black. Ball overthrown by about 4 or 5 yards over the head of him.
He had some nice air under the ball. If he had just not put as much velocity on it, would have been a touchdown pass.
There was pressure off the near side from Nate Marshall. Not much other than the Auburn commit. Taylor had time to throw. Like you said, just left a bit too much air underneath it.
3rd and 10. 4-down territory unless you lose yardage. This might be the game for Carmel. Down 3 scores, and their defense has not stopped the chunk plays. Here comes the bull rush. Getting out of it is Taylor. Still in the pocket. Downfield. Out of bounds. Well covered by Fenwick. There was no spot for Taylor to put that ball.
And a good job extending the play. Murray again getting into the backfield. Pierre throws a good block on him. Taylor avoids him, steps up and has his man, but just ran out of room on the near side. Short side of the field. Fenwick knows where they're positioned. Are able to focus more on the big side.
What do you want to call here on 4th and 10? You got to get 10 yards to extend the drive.
You're going to have to uncork it.
You don't need a touchdown. You just need 10 yards.
Might look Wilder's way again. Number 14, top wide receiver on the far side. Or the tight end, Greiber.
Pump fake. Taylor, he's going to run with it. Can he get it? He will. Still on his feet. Taylor to the end zone. Touchdown. They wanted Taylor to make a big play, and Sammy did it himself.
Yeah, Taylor kind of baited the defenders between right around the 10-yard line. Looked like he was going to slide down, try to avoid a hit. Instead, he pops right back up. Just gets around him to the left edge.
You don't necessarily have to go for 2 now, because if you don't get it, you're down 17, which would be 3 scores.
Henricks, the defensive back, looking back at this run. Looks like he's ready to deliver a big hit, but again, you try to not draw a penalty there. Delivers a shot on a wide receiver for a block, and Taylor able to take it himself.
And 2-point conversion, no good. 29-12, pass deflection by the Friars. We'll take a break. You're watching the Friars against the Corsairs here on SBS, but there is a flag on the play. It's holding against Carmel. They're going to decline it, so we will go to break here. 29-12 in favor of the Corsairs here on SBS.
Are you looking for some good food after a Fenwick football game? Then head on over to O'Sullivan's Public House. Located on Madison Street in Forest Park, O'Sullivan's Public House has daily drink specials alongside a year-round beer garden. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. O'Sullivan's PH offers dinner until 10 p.m. Even cooler, O'Sullivan's offers a late-night menu until 11:30 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. On the weeknights, O'Sullivan's has a late-night menu until 11 p.m. And for the fall season, O'Sullivan's will offer 20% off food for athletes athletes and coaches following home Fenwick games. For more information, go online to o'sullivansfp.com.
(29-12) score here on SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone. Check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com for your next broadcast. We do AAU basketball, Pop Warner football, and everything in between. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone. They went for the PAT. They didn't get it. They split the special teams players, which you can do in high school. You can't do it in the NFL anymore. Obviously an onside kick. I mean, even when things are going well for Carmel, they're missing PATs. Here's the onside kick. Fenwick got a late break. It's up in the air. Still on the turf. Who got it? A lot of Friars around it. Fenwick ball.
Yeah, Corsairs did their best to try and rip it out after the ball popped up off the turf into the return man's hands.
It was a pretty nice kick. It was not their normal punter that kicked it. That's the one thing you want. You want that high bounce, and when you're a returner, go and get that ball. And it was a late break from Fenwick. They had a chance to get it within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. Meanwhile, with an even 6 minutes to go, it's 1st and 10 at their own 43. Hosty, the handoff. Morgan up the middle. As Morgan gets inside the 45. It's all Friars tonight. Passing the ball, running the ball. Really nothing has gone badly for them.
Right behind 62, Adam Callaghan. Only 5'9", but full head of steam for the lineman. Clears a hole, and Morgan says, thank you very much.
Hosty fakes the handoff. That was a backwards pass, and it's going to be a positive gain for the Friars. I think you have a quarterback controversy, Sam. I mean, he's looked really good. The one thing with Jamin has been the accuracy problems and the big plays, and Hosty's delivered the big plays today.
Williams more the overall athlete, but Hosty's done a good job. You said it, the big plays, but being accurate with them. Williams breaks off about 1 or 2 of them a game. Hosty's been incredibly consistent with them.
And if Jamin Williams is good to go for the first round game, he'll most likely play. But it's hard to go back to Jamin the way that Hosty's looked today. And we've seen when they've needed to put the ball in the end zone to put the other team away, Hosty's been put in there and thrown touchdown passes. 3rd and 4. Friars think the Corsairs jumped. Refs disagree.
Fenwick's honestly okay with it. More clock being drained.
Here comes the pressure. Hosty on his back foot. Out of bounds.
Great effort by Treston Smith, the intended receiver, right around the 15-yard line, trying to drag the toes, but Hosty's throw led him just a bit too much.
4th and 4, you could go for it. I personally would punt it. You could do a hard count. Hosty is pretty athletic if you want to do a pooch punt. Only bad thing about that incompletion is it stopped the clock. If you want to do the hard count, you could just keep running clock and then do a delay game or call a timeout. Hosty again, they are going to snap it. I don't know about that one, Sam.
Yeah, badly thrown ball. Pressure came from both sides.
That might have been by accident. It was such a late snap on 4th and 4. Noah Sir's done a good job punting the ball. They've had the protection for him to punt. Noah can also do a rugby-style punt to get the ball deep. I'm not sure why you would want to give the ball back to Taylor at the 37. You know, a million bad things can happen when you kick the ball in high school. I get it, but they haven't had problems with special teams today. There's still time, partner. You score here before the end of the fourth quarter. You're still very much in it.
Not at this pace, though.
Yeah, got to go no huddle, preferably, at least for a couple of plays. Terrible snap. Taylor handles it well. Getting outside the pocket. He's got a man. That's Greiber. Dropped.
Greiber came down with it as he was landing. Got rolled up, loses control of it. Great job by Tommy Thies, the safety. Staying right alongside the bigger tight end. And as they're falling towards the turf, just extending that left arm, making it just hard enough for Greiber to hold on to it.
It'll be 2nd and 10 at the 37. Greiber in motion, then back to his tight end spot. Looked like a false start. We play on. And, you know, I know you need to keep the defense honest, but when you're down 17, I think it's just pass, pass, pass at this point of the game.
Yeah, you can't have too many of those, 3-4 yard runs. Under 4 minutes to go in the third. And again, still going back to the huddle, slow to the line.
I guess you want to score however you can, and you saw some.
Well, right, you got to score once before you can score 3 times, and you don't want to speed up your game too much in the process.
That was a professional hit delivered by Thies.
Jake Thies that time. You hear the chant from a Friar fan. That's a sophomore. You're right there. Thies, the younger brother of Tommy. 2 brothers manning the secondary for the Friars.
4th and 5 at their own 42. Obviously, you got to go for it. Only time that Carmel has scored on some interesting plays. They did the flea flicker, and then they scored on a quarterback draw. And timeout called by the Corsairs. We'll take a timeout as well. It's 29-12 in favor of the Friars here on SBS.
Are you looking for some good food after a Fenwick football game? Then head on over to O'Sullivan's Public House. Located on Madison Street in Forest Park, O'Sullivan's Public House has daily drink specials alongside a year-round beer garden. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. O'Sullivan's PH offers dinner until 10 p.m. Even cooler, O'Sullivan's offers a late-night menu until 11:30 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. On the weeknights, O'Sullivan's has a late-night menu until 11 p.m. And for the fall season, O'Sullivan's will offer 20% off food for athletes and coaches following home Fenwick games. For more information, go online to o'sullivansfp.com.
Fourth and 5. Carmel's still in it after that interesting decision by Fenwick to go for it on 4th down. I still don't understand that one. Time for Taylor to throw. Here comes the pressure. He's going to run up the middle.
Stopped a yard short.
Marshall tried to force the fumble. Either way, he's a yard short. It's hard to win hero ball, Sam. Every time that the Corsairs need a big play, it's Taylor having to run with the football, and that can only work so many times. Yeah, he was clearly a yard short. Handoff to Morgan, still on his feet. Morgan near the 25. Possibly a back-breaking run against the Corsairs.
Just bouncing off of one guy after the other, staying upright, not getting tied up with his feet. Got spun around as well. Stayed upright. Another big chunk yardage for the Friars.
Just short of the 25. They're going to mark it at the 26. Morgan. Couple of yards. That's okay. That's what Fenwick wants. At this point, they don't need any more points. I mean, they'll take the field goal. They just care about clock at this point.
Yeah, I'll get ready to see a lot of handoffs to a rotation. It'll be a lot of Josh Morgan, but
Jalen Morgan.
Excuse me, yeah.
Josh Morgan is the defensive back. They don't make it easy on us, do they? 2nd and 7, ball at the 23.
Well, we've seen Montgomery get rotated in previous weeks, along with Rooney.
3rd and short. This is where you'd love to have Jalen Williams. He's so good at these 3rd and short plays. Third and 1 at the 17. Starting to get a little bit colder, but not that cold. No wind tonight.
Not to sound too Midwest, but it's the wind that'll get you. I'm just waiting for that to be the nail in the coffin in a couple weeks' time.
Morgan, he's going to get it, and more. Up the middle. Touchdown run, Morgan, and that should do it. The backbreaker, the dagger, however you want to slice it, that's going to give Fenwick a 7-2 record, and Carmel's night is done.
The left side of the offensive line, Bertacci specifically, throws a great block. Tim Mulcahy as well, in as a blocking tight end on the play. Great chip block on the near side.
Yeah, it was
Gilboy as well.
Team effort. PAT good. We'll stick with the action. 36-12. It's pretty much over. Do you consider going to the backup quarterback to give him some reps? Do you start putting in the seniors if for Carmel, or do you try to give it one more effort on offense here?
One more drive, and then we get to the 4th. I wouldn't be shocked if we start seeing more rotational guys in.
Quarterbacks on this roster, they have the sophomore in Noah Olbrich. He's the quarterback / defensive back. And that's it. So they don't have a senior quarterback they could put in. Johnny Weber, he was the quarterback last year, 3-year starter. And they put in Taylor 5 games as a freshman in mop-up duty.
And he was serviceable in that time. And, again, we talked earlier about adjusting to the change from underclass athletics to varsity and the eventual jump he'll have to make to college ball. He's only a sophomore. Again, if there was a true senior quarterback, there's a junior on the roster, number 29, Drew Bance, who's a DB/QB, who I guess is the ultimate emergency option. But no, there's no senior getting his final look in tonight, so we might see Taylor for the rest of it.
Good return, and it's going to be a return near the 40. So all Carmel needs to get it back into it is a quick touchdown pass, then another onside kick, then another quick touchdown pass, then another onside kick. Then maybe give the refs a $20 bill each.
You're on step 20. They got to get to step 2.
Step 1, clean snap. That hasn't always been perfect from center to quarterback. There's some freshmen on this team. Jackwell Edmonds, who's returned a couple of kicks and punts today. Christian Chaddock. Jameer Miles, we've said his name before. It's a young team. Disappointing year, though. You were in the quarterfinals last year. We mentioned Nazareth.
Yeah, they were Naz's toughest test last year.
And Carmel knew as much as anybody. They lost to Nazareth, a 4-5 regular season team. All Carmel had to do was get in, and anything could happen, but they couldn't get it done today. Other thing is, too, I know we talked about Taylor. Marshall. The exclamation point on a very impressive night for the Friars tonight.
Taylor slow to get up. Thankfully, he's all right. But rightfully so. You're going to get a bit banged up when Nate Marshall drives you to the ground. And now Taylor is limping to the sideline, hanging that right shoulder or elbow.
I would take him out. He's played a very good game tonight. Valiant effort, but
yeah,
it's just not going to happen.
What we were talking about earlier with him only being a sophomore and needing these varsity reps, as soon as there's that fear for injury, he's too valuable for the program. We'll head to the fourth, and that should be Taylor's night.
Was it too little, too late? Should they put in Olbrich on this drive? We'll talk about it. Easy to say in hindsight. We'll get an update on Taylor as we get closer to the end of the game. It's all Friars tonight, 36-12 here on SBS.
Are you looking for some good food after a Fenwick? Then head on over to O'Sullivan's Public House. Located on Madison Street in Forest Park, O'Sullivan's Public House has O'Sullivan's PH offers dinner until 10 p.m. Even cooler, O'Sullivan's offers a late-night menu until 11:30 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays.
You got to.
O'Sullivan's has a late-night menu until 11 p.m. And for the fall season, O'Sullivan's will offer 20% off food for athletes and coaches following home Fenwick games. For more information, go online to o'sullivansfp.com.
No, not. There you go. 36-12, 3rd and 10. Taylor's night is still going to continue. I'm shocked by this, Sam.
Coach McKee opting into door number 1, saying, let's get my sophomore some more varsity reps. I mean, it's a man's game. He's going to take some hits in his career.
Yeah, but it's 36-12. Handoff off the edge.
And I think we might be seeing a lot of runs from the Corsairs as well, both to run some clock and get home at a reasonable hour, and also to avoid Taylor being in the pocket for too long, because if he's still out there, you can bet that the Friars are still going to be sending Marshall, Gilboy, and everybody else his way.
You could do that, or you could just play the old Tampa 2, let them run clock. Not everybody loves the Tampa 2. They did go to a Super Bowl with it and another NFC Championship game. 4th and 1. Just surprised by this. My opinion is if Taylor's in the game, you go for it and do no huddle. And they're going to try to pass it on 4th and 1. Still time. Taylor over the middle, no one home. I think his intended target, his receiver fell down. He's trying to get it to Black. I don't know what's going on with the offense right now by Carmel. Number 1, your quarterback's hurt. Number 2, it's 4th and 1. It was 4th and 1. Now it's 1st and 10.
No, Chains had that 4th and long.
Oh. Okay, it said 1 on the Jumbotron. The zero was having issues. So you're right. So then again, okay, if it was 4th and 10, then okay, never mind.
Yeah, that was more of a desperation. Find somebody relatively open in the middle.
Well, we will see if they stick with Taylor. The other thing is, too, like, you get hurt and then the adrenaline pumps in, so you can play through some injuries. Up the middle with Morgan. That should probably be the rest of the game plan for the Fenwick offense. Impressive, partner. They're going to go to 7-2. They'll have a home game, and because of their strength of schedule, should be a pretty decent seed in 5A. Actually, I think they're going to play in 6A this year.
Yeah, it's currently the number 5 team in 6A according to AP. And a big step up from a program that missed the playoffs last year. We talked about how they finished as a 4-5 team last year after starting 4-1.
Yeah. They're a tough team. It's not just Nate Marshall. Jalen Morgan, we had him in the pregame show. Outside the pocket is Hosty. He'll get past the D lineman, and he'll just do the quarterback slide. And his momentum was still in bounds when he did it, so the clock will run. For Carmel, defense was not great. Way too many chunk plays they gave up. Offense, not nearly enough. Can't win many games when you score 12 points. Just nothing was in sync tonight. The special teams especially. You missed 2 extra points. A punt got blocked.
Lowest scoring affair that the Corsairs have had since week 4 against the Vikings of St. Lawrence. They only put up 14.
Impressive effort by Hosty. 3 touchdown passes. They were all past 20 yards. And his first completion of the game was 50 yards to Marshall for the touchdown. We'll stick with the action. 3rd and 8 at the 38. Timeout was called by Fenwick. Tough pill to swallow for this Carmel team. They were 3-2. Hopes were high, and then they're going to end on a 4-game losing streak.
What is a really tough 4 opponents to round out the season with. We talked already what happened last week against Loyola. DePaul Prep was a 3-point loss. Montini, another team that's been to state in the last couple of years. And this is a Fenwick team that, again, we've seen how special they've been this year. That's a really tough draw for a Final Four opponents to round out your final month of the season.
They put up box score stats tonight. At halftime, they had 2 guys with 5 or more catches. But those are the problems with dump and dunk. And
right, you're getting 5 catches for 3 to 4 yards gainage of each.
There's not many great box score stats for Fenwick, but you got 2 receptions for 59 yards. So you have 1 big chunk play. Hosty, he's looking to the end zone. And it was in the hands and then dropped. He's trying to get it to Smith. I don't really understand that, partner. You're up by 24 points. Just run the ball, and if you don't get the first.
That's called you're a senior on senior night, Sam. Let me air this one out. Let me pad the stats a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
No, I've been there. You know that this is your final time, at least as the starter, hopefully, assuming that Williams is healthy for the playoffs.
I think you're going to see
You don't know how much time Hosty's going to have left under center. Might as well, man.
I know. If I'm Carmel and they threw a touchdown pass for me against me, I'm already down 24 in an obvious running situation. I don't think I'd be too happy if I was Jason McKee if they had capitalized on that touchdown. Nice little pooch punt. Story of the game, the chunk plays. 3 touchdown passes and a touchdown rush for Jalen Morgan. That's where we stand right now. And a punt blocked.
Well, you summarized it pretty early on, Kyle. We've seen, if we had a bingo board, it'd be pretty full. We've seen a whole bunch of different ways to score, football rarities tonight.
This is like a video dictionary of all the different ways to score a touchdown in the game of football. Not only did they score on the punt, but he actually fumbled the ball forward, and then 3 Friars were around it to recover it in the end zone. Nice completion, and trying to get out of bounds. Finally does Black. Actually, no, sorry, that was Eli Jackson.
Nearly picked off by Henricks. But a really good ball placed by Taylor.
You're not the #1 recruit in Illinois for nothing. By the way, he talked to the Chicago Sun-Times, did Taylor? None of his friends are football guys.
Yeah, I saw that. He's got a friend for pretty much every other sport.
Yeah. I'm sure he has, like, friends on the team, but not, like, his best friends. 64 yards away from the end zone. They need 3 touchdowns and 3 2-point conversions. I'm at a loss for words. Sam, help me out here. A running play when you're down 24 and you're not going no huddle.
I mean, at one point you just have to throw your palms up and say, you got 8 minutes left on your season. Let's see what we got.
Just run your normal offense, I guess, and end your season. 2nd and 8. One in motion. That was Pierre. Thies on the pressure. Outside the pocket, incomplete. Trying to get it to Black. 3rd and long. If you can score quickly and get the 2-point conversion, things could get somewhat interesting. That would mean an onside kick coming up. Handoff again. Draw play. Good thing is, stops the clock briefly. You've got 2 timeouts left. Still no huddle. I think you're right, Sam. I think they're just waving the white flag and just being okay with finishing the season at 3-6.
Yeah, getting some offensive reps in with the young quarterback. As good a time as ever when you're going to be facing a top 10 defense in the state.
They almost did get that onside kick, though, so maybe if they score quickly, can they recover an onside kick? But the other thing is, too, the only time they've scored touchdown, dump and dunk passing plays.
Right.
They don't have any chunk plays in their arsenal tonight.
Right, and that's the age-old adage of you only need to get, 3.3 yards every single play. And it's like, well, yeah, that works to an extent, but that's assuming you're going to convert on every single one of those plays.
As much as we love Alex Smith, there are some things about him where you want Colin Kaepernick in there. The accuracy wasn't there for Kaepernick, but the chunk plays were. Clean pocket, over the middle. That's on the quarterback. He had Greiber. You wonder if his right shoulder is still bothering him.
Yeah, he looked really banged up at the end of the 3rd. Hobbled over, kind of jogged to the sideline to talk with a trainer.
Greiber's shaken up, too. If Carmel were to pull this off, this would be one of the greatest comebacks in Illinois high school football history. Here comes the pressure. This time, Taylor can't get out of it. Sack, Jimmy O'Brien. The senior, Sam, with a beautiful sack that time.
I was about to say, the senior getting involved on his day. Called his name sparingly throughout the night. There's his highlight moment for the night. A huge pursuit.
Right.
And it just flips him backwards.
It was great positioning by O'Brien. He forced Taylor to his non-throwing hand side, which makes it harder for him to set his feet and throw the ball away or throw it downfield.
Right, because you're going cross-body against your momentum. And now we have 4th and a country mile.
Taylor over the middle. Dangerous pass, two-parter. Was a little high. He could have killed his wide receiver on that play.
You said the term hospital pass a couple of times tonight. And, well, I think Jaron Black's going to take a big, deep breath there for a second. He felt 6 different Friars surrounding him on the area.
He wasn't defenseless either, so if Fenwick had hit him, it would have been a clean hit. What do you think for E.J. Hosty if he has to play next week? He looked pretty darn good today. The completion percentage wasn't great, though.
Yeah, Hosty looked, he did his job, and we talked earlier how it's, more of a rotational backup position for him as opposed to a clipboard holder role. And as soon as Williams went down, he started moving around, knowing his job, got plugged into the offense. And, again, there's going to be that play or two where you dust off the chains. But, he's not going to complete every single one of his throws, but every single time that the Friars have wanted a deep play down the field tonight. He has responded in a big way. What a night for the senior himself. Was in a positional battle with Williams all throughout camp. Williams won the job away. Goes down with the injury early tonight. Hosty stepped up.
And at the same time, how many of those balls were Hosty with a good ball, and was it bad defense? Some of these guys were wide open, especially Stewart and Smith. Frankie will run it. Hosty to the sideline. I don't know, Sam, what do you think? Hosty was great tonight, or the defensive backs, the secondary for Carmel, pretty mediocre?
No, I think Hosty, and he utilized his receivers the best he could, whether it was Treston Smith or Emmett Romius, his two bigger targets tonight. He just looks solid. Done a good job spreading out the ball, not letting the secondary pick up on his tendencies. And there's going to be cause for concern, whatever program you are, if you're down your starting quarterback entering the playoffs. But Hosty is more than capable of stepping up to the call next week in the first round.
It would most likely be a 5-4 or 6-3 team they would play. It would be right here at Triton College. This time they utilize a guy they haven't used all night. Stutter step move. Eye in the goal line. Inside the 10. And almost scored a touchdown. Deontay Meeks, the senior.
Getting more and more guys involved. Smaller frame, but as soon as he found a hole, just full head of steam charging ahead.
He's a small guy. He plays point guard on the basketball team. I don't know, Potter. He looked pretty good in the open field. Maybe they need to utilize him a little bit more.
There's not many football, basketball guys anymore. I'm shocked.
1st and goal at the 7. Get it to a senior if you're Fenwick. Hosty's also a senior. In the backfield, it's 42. There's Meeks. Cameron Garrett out wide, as is Jimmy O'Brien. Just tick, tick, tick off that clock. Handoff, read well by the Corsairs. What do you think the play of the game was? Was it that touchdown pass to Stewart?
It's the touchdown pass to Marshall. You get your defensive edge involved in the passing game as a deep threat down the field. Pretty much every time you see a team use a bigger defensive player in an offensive package, you think goal line or you think red zone. You're not thinking deep ball down the field on the near sideline one-on-one for a touchdown.
Second and goal at the 10. Handoff. Going nowhere fast. And let's see if Carmel calls a timeout or if they're just going to let this clock run. In comes the special teams unit. Nope, sorry, 3rd and goal. I say that because sometimes they've been a little bit late on the Jumbotron. 3rd and goal, new personnel. As Will Tomzak back to the sideline for the Friars. 2 in the backfield, including Emmett Romius. This could be a knee, and they'll take a knee. And we'll see if the refs make them run one more play.
Getting some more guys involved for one more kneel down.
How about that? He tore his ACL, but he's back on the field to take a knee to send the Friars to their first home playoff game in a couple of years. So it'll be 4th and goal at the 16. Hosty will run it up the gut. Huge hit up the middle. As was a handoff over to Charlie Henricks. That'll be turnover on downs, and Carmel will have the opportunity to run at least 2 more plays. Kind of the definition of garbage time the last 5 minutes.
Corsairs taking a step back this year after winning more games in every year that head coach Jason McKee has led this program. Started off 1-4, won 3 wins in year 2, 7 in year 3. Last year, a 10-win ball club. But growing pains with a young quarterback, it's to be expected.
Seen the ups, we've seen the downs. Lost to a DePaul College prep team by just 3 points. First time that the Rams are in the postseason since 2015. Trying to get to the sideline and does. But they're going to say he did not get out of bounds, and that'll do it for the game. Congratulations to the Fenwick Friars. Moving on to 7-2, only 2 losses. Got blown out last week and only lost by 1 to Joliet Catholic. I'm not saying state championship run for Fenwick, but if they can do what they did tonight, this is the formula for future postseason victories.
Well, and they match their win total from 2021, claim an outright white title as well. And Friar Faithful knows how successful that 2021 team was. Create that magic 3 years later.
So for our excellent crew, post-game show coming up, but that does it for our in-game broadcast. Chris Angela, Sam Corbett, Jacqueline Skibona, and everybody else that worked tonight, including Andrew Diedrich and Arush Kathiri. I'm Kyle Smith. Post-game show brought to you by O'Sullivan's Public House. Coming up next. And then run montage. All right, Chris, come with me.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. SBS offers live telecasts on channel 59.3, YouTube, or Twitch. We include pre- and post-game interviews with the players.
You know, I started in the live click at the beginning of the game, so I think that's what got us going.
We also include digital live statistics, play-by-play commentary, team highlight reels, and even more than that. Go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com or search Sports Broadcast Solutions on YouTube. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary.
A no-hitter at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it.
Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede!
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the post-game show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith. Well, my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the Hurricanes win a battle down the stretch, 48-46.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kramer. I swim 50 breast, 50 free, and 100 back.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Instead of spending hundreds or thousands with all these college recruiting sites, let us put together your college highlight reel. For just a fraction of your potential college scholarship and significantly less than these recruiting services, we got this. In addition, we put together highlight reels for teams, including high school, your club team, or travel team.
My teammate gave me a great pass, and I just took it. The other team slashed me, took the opportunity, saw where the goalie was weak, and I just shot it there.
Solon, O'Connor, and Marsh back on defense. And Marsh gets a blowout. We got a breakaway at 2-0. A shot, and it's a goal! So 3-3. The power play was officially over.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you who would like to broadcast or live stream your event, or maybe make a highlight tape, but would like a sponsor to fund the event, SBS has a myriad of ways to advertise your sponsor during our broadcasts. We have commercials. We have on-air reads by the announcers.
Albatross Physical Therapy and Wellness specializes in pain-free.
We have graphics, and we have watermarks. Finally, Sports Broadcast Solutions can create a commercial for you or your sponsor. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you that just want raw footage of your sporting event, but no play-by-play or color commentary, you just need us to live stream video from the event over the internet. We will live stream your event on YouTube on our Sports Broadcast Solutions channel. In addition, we also have a dedicated channel on YouTube for live streaming at SBS Livestream. And if you need multiple channels, we can utilize Facebook Livestream and Instagram Live on our channel as well. Options include commercials from your sponsors, professional scoreboard graphics are still available, and of course, yes, pre- and post-game interviews are available as an option if you want.
We've been working really hard this whole summer and stuff.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. We broadcast sporting events for people of all ages, including adult leagues, high school leagues, and kids. Complete with professional-looking graphics, broadcasters, color analysis, and commercials. We do pre- and post-game interviews with the players. In addition, Sports Broadcast Solutions does highlight films, including college recruiting reels, highlight films you'd see on sports news programs, and just simply highlight films for fun. Sports Broadcast Solutions also provides raw footage and live streams if you'd like. Subscribe to us and listen to our professional talk videos about relevant topics in the pro and college ranks. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, contact us at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital world. This is Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. Check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital sporting world.
Welcome to the post-game show, brought to you by O'Sullivan's Public House. Welcome to the post-game show, brought to you by O'Sullivan's Public House. This is the post-game show, and here's our post-game interview. The man of the game, E.J. Hosty, with 3 touchdown passes, a 36-12 win over Carmel Catholic tonight. Frankie,
yeah.
3 touchdown passes, including the 50-yarder to Nate Marshall, your first completion of the game. What did that feel like?
Felt great. You know, all the hard work paid off. Felt good to connect to him there.
3 touchdown passes a night. They were all over 20 yards. Whatever you did in practice at work tonight, what did you work in practice? Because it was impressive on those passes tonight.
Our receivers just worked all practice. You know, one-on-ones, especially getting off the ball, because we knew they were going to press, and their hard work really paid off.
You knocked Carmel Catholic out of the postseason with a win tonight. Trey Taylor, he had some completions, but you made sure they weren't chunk plays tonight.
Yeah, our defense has been great all year. They kept doing what they were doing and made the offensive job really easy.
7 wins on the season. The only 2 losses, one of them was by 1 point to Joliet Catholic. How confident do you guys feel going into the postseason?
We got all the confidence, man. I mean, we've been here, we've done this, but now it's just postseason time, so yeah.
Final thoughts about the win tonight? You'll have a home game next week, either Friday night or Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, I really did this for my father. I lost him, so, you know, I really did it for him, so. My brothers, my mom, I just love all of them. So
great game tonight, Frankie. That's Frankie Hosty. That does it for our post-game show. So for excellent crew, Chris Angela, Andrew Diedrich, Sam Corbett, everybody else that worked tonight, we'll see you next time on SBS.